We have more than 3 people. Yay!
Well, no, one just died.
Not bad.
Will.
Wait.
So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Threading and Dreading. It's bitter cold outside, but we're going to get out a list of these trailers, a little bit of movie news, a little bit of bullshit. So we're going to go around the room and introduce everybody. To my right, we have...
The goddess of gore.
And how are you doing?
Just fantastic.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Uh-huh.
So, next to the goddess of gore, we have...
The fangirl extraordinaire.
And how are you?
I am good.
Good. We're glad to have you back.
And I would like to use this opportunity to say that I would like to neither confirm nor deny what had happened to 3-Star Sapphire in the previous weeks.
Oh, yes. You, the fair response to that was quite hilarious. I have to say, a lot of people got a good crack out of that, but, yeah, long story short, don't argue Quidditch with the fangirl.
There are actually
Or
a lot of
anything.
things on that list.
Well, I'm just saying, in particular.
Oh my.
Next
Oh,
to her,
sorry.
we have...
You're done.
I have been known as the dystopian, and it's good to be back.
Good to have you back, sir.
Thank you.
I'm sorry there's not too many dystopians this week, or dystopian movies this week. I apologize.
Yeah, life's cruel that way sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes things are just happy sunshines and rainbows, and God, I hate it.
Yeah, I don't know. Some of the trailers today
Ghosts?
might not cover that exactly.
Yeah.
They're not so much sunshine and rainbows.
Nah, fair enough. But how's everybody been?
Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, no. What were we going to say?
I was just saying, depends on how you look at them.
Right, this is true.
Yeah.
So how's everybody been?
Okay. Anyone else?
All right.
Yeah, doing well.
Good. This is actually the fangirl's first time sitting on my, what do you just...
It's her nook.
Her nook, yeah, sitting in her nook.
She's
I
christened it
have
her nook.
claimed this to be my nook. So every time we do Threading and Dreading, this is my spot. I will fight anybody who tries to take it from me.
Wow, she's starting to nest. She's got all the behavior down. She's been getting materials from around the house. It's really intense.
For those people who are curious, I recently bought a new sectional, which, well, it actually didn't cost me too much, but I really like it. It's very nice, and the fangirl has notched herself out a little corner in it.
I am now really excited to do Threading and Dreading now.
Yeah,
so.
because you don't have that crappy thing to sit on anymore. Oh, my God.
I didn't say that.
No,
I'm
no,
just
I'm
excited
saying-
about the nook.
No, I'm saying it. That thing was awful. It was a piece of crap. I'm so glad I have something new. So before we really get into the movie news, the first thing I'm going to say, who watched the Oscars?
I did.
I
I'm the only
couldn't.
one.
Yeah, you were sending your brother home at the time, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all right.
So I was unable to watch it, which makes me really upset because I totally wanted to do an Oscar party this year.
I know. We will do that sometime.
yeah.
We'll do a rerun party of it because I haven't watched it.
We should totally do that. And then can we still do what I wanted to originally propose? Like, we get dressed up fancy as shit and then drink, like, cheap wine and, like... and
You had me at that. I mean, whatever you want to do besides that, I'm game.
and then watch the Oscars.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Are
of
we in?
course.
Are we doing that?
Okay.
Can I yell out the winner 5 seconds before they say it?
Because we know what all the winners are.
Ah,
But, it's kind of a shame. We're going to be discussing that tonight, so it's kind of,
Just kidding.
you know...
I have, like, a really short memory, so...
Okay, fair enough.
So we'll see. I think that even 5 seconds before will be okay. She'll still
Okay.
say it, and 5 seconds later, oh my gosh, really?
You know, we should watch it anyway because Neil Patrick Harris was actually pretty good.
Because Neil Patrick Harris is
Yeah, well, I
awesome.
mean, he wasn't. I wouldn't call him, one of the better hosts ever, but he was good. I mean,
He seemed very disengaged with everything.
yes.
Like he was bored with the whole thing.
I would agree with that.
And he
Like,
kept laughing too much, I think, at his own jokes.
yeah, and he was very nonchalant about the whole thing.
Yeah.
This is like, it's the Oscars, whatever. I don't care.
I think he has more fun hosting the Tonys.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you could see not within the first 10 seconds of the show, he cut right into a musical number. Like,
nice.
It was a great musical number, too.
Yeah.
It was a great way to start the
good.
show. But yeah, if there's nothing else to really bring up, I was going to get right into that and actually discuss that. If anyone else has any other news they want to bring up.
We ain't got no news.
Oh,
Probably, I bet I just don't remember.
it'll come to you.
You ain't got no pancake mix.
What?
You lost us.
I don't get.
Well, this has been fun. I'll
Okay.
see you guys later.
The internet will get it.
Oh.
That's for you, internet. Enjoy.
Just for you.
Just for you. So,
So we never gave you anything.
yeah. So, how would you want to go about this list? You want to go from like beginning of the night to the end, or do you want to just go down to the biggest to the last? How do you want to do this?
You're gonna run through the whole list.
No,
like
no,
you
not
want?
Everything and
No.
everyone.
No. I didn't make a whole list of everything. Just the biggest ones.
Okay, well then let's just do the biggest one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the winner for Best Picture, which of all the ones that were nominated, was
Spoilers.
actually what?
Spoilers.
Spoilers. Yeah, if you haven't seen the Oscars, why are you
Just
listening to
kidding.
us right now? Go watch the Oscars or look up the list or whatever.
I can't because I'm here.
Right. Well, do you want me to not go through the list?
No, just go through it. You already told them that you would. It would be mean of me to stop you.
So the winner for Best Picture was Birdman,
Oh.
or as it's called, Birdman or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance, which is its other title.
Nice. Makes you want to see it even more.
Yeah. And I sadly haven't seen Birdman, but
Nope.
I've heard nothing but fantastic things about it.
Yeah.
too.
I really want to see it.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's been a backlash to this winning, though, because one of the themes of Birdman, not the main theme, but one of the themes, is that superhero films are slowly destroying cinema. That's apparently one of the themes of the movie. And a lot of course, superhero fans and directors have come out and it's like, fuck you. You know, it's like superhero films in and of themselves are not destroying cinema. You're just a hater of these stories, you know? And in fact, there's been a great response from James Gunn, who directed Guardians of the Galaxy, and he responded on Twitter saying something along the lines of, it was like, you know, for people like me who direct a talking squirrel, or for Joss Whedon who directs the Hulk, or for, you know, Zack Snyder who directs Batman or whatever, it's like, you can't sit here and tell us that we don't have passion about these stories, about these characters, and that we don't tell great, you know, narratives. So you can go fuck yourself. I was like, thank you, James Gunn. Thank you.
I have to step in for Paul as a raccoon, not a squirrel.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
what I thought.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Raccoon.
I had to bring it down.
Did I say squirrel?
You said
You did
squirrel.
I
say
apologize.
squirrel.
Raccoon.
Womp womp.
Thank you for correcting me, because otherwise the internet would have. Thank you.
That's what I'm here for.
I know that happens with anything that's popular. People are going to say, "Oh, it's destroying this," or "It's destroying whatever
Right.
medium it's part of."
Right. Now, on the one hand, I get it. You know, there's a massive influx of superhero-themed movies coming out in the next 4 or 5 years.
Right.
I get that some people are kind of getting sick of it. But at the same time, the majority of the films right now are actually quite good. And for fans like us, who for a long time weren't getting very many superhero films, this is a great time to be loving cinema. For a while, maybe every 4 or 5 years, you'd get a Batman or a Superman, something, whatever, you know, some property. And finally, they discovered, hey, you know what? Marvel and DC had a lot of really good damn stories. Maybe we should focus on them for a while, because that's the one area Hollywood hasn't exploited yet, and now they're finally exploiting it. So, while the getting's good, they're going to use these good stories. So
And it's a big fan base.
it is, it
Yeah.
very much
Yeah.
is. So
It's not like they're making these movies to the exclusion of every other kind of movie.
right, exactly.
So,
Right.
I mean, just enjoy it.
Right. And then there are some people who are arguing, they're saying, well, if you enjoyed Birdman, then you can't like any other type of superhero film. I'm like,
Oh,
you can go
geez.
fuck yourself.
That's not how things work.
I know. I despise that kind of thinking. It's like, oh, well, if you like the narrative of this, then you obviously have to hate that. I'm like, no, I can enjoy the art of Birdman and still love the hell out of all my superhero films.
You can even enjoy the narrative. You can like whatever you want.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Couldn't agree more.
As long as it's not stupid. No.
Hey, hey,
Hey.
Oh, that was close. We almost had it on a good note there. Thanks for bringing it back in.
Yay! So for Best Director was also for Birdman, which was Alejandro Iñárritu. I think he's pronounced his name.
Good work.
Yeah, is that how you pronounce it?
Beats me.
No.
See, this you could have looked up. You
No.
could have just watched the clip, of them presenting, and you would have known how to say his name.
Oh, okay.
Unless
Alejandro Adel Dazeem. There we go.
Oh my God! Speaking of the Oscars,
Yeah, they
did you
actually
see
had a
that?
reference to that at the Oscars this year.
They had Idina Menzel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. For a second, I spaced on her last name. And John Travolta presented an award, and Neil Patrick Harris, introduced Idina, and then she was like, "Oh, and let me introduce the other guy," and she completely said some different name, and he comes out and
Nice.
making a joke, but then he got real creepy and kept touching her face.
Yeah.
That's 'cause
It
it's
was
John
very
Travolta.
awkward.
Yeah.
Weird.
He's creepy.
Yeah, it was. You could tell on her face, she was like, "Oh my God, stop touching me."
Do not want.
Denzel, what's the matter? Oh my God.
It was
It was
awkward.
weird.
Who's the boss? Wait,
But
wrong actor.
for Best Actor, we had Eddie Redmayne for The Theory of Everything for his portrayal as Stephen Hawking.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
That's another one I want to see.
Right. I really want to see that, and there was some discussion about whether or not he would win, because most people were in agreement that he did give the best performance of the year, but some people thought he wouldn't get the Oscar because of his performance in Jupiter Ascending. Now, this has been rumored for a long time that if the actor has a bad movie out at the time that the Oscar voters are, casting their votes, that in fact it could give them, kind of negative votes, where basically they're saying, we don't want to vote for this guy because he has something out really bad right now, not just judging the one performance.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
To take it back to something else, people were comparing it to Eddie Murphy, who was nominated for something a while back. I forget what he was nominated for.
Was it for Dreamgirls?
Yeah, that was probably it, yeah. But then he had Norbit come out at the time of the Oscars, and he didn't win the Oscar, and everyone thought that he should have won it, and everyone said, oh, well, maybe the Oscar voters didn't vote for him because he has Norbit out right now. And this kind of disparaged that rumor. Now, some people could just say, well, maybe the Academy didn't like Eddie Murphy. I don't know. But as far as this goes, it's no, they weren't judging him because of Jupiter Ascending, which, by the way, was a pretty fucking bad performance. But apparently his performance in Theory of Everything was fantastic. So he gets a pass on Jupiter Ascending. Everyone gets their one.
I still need to see Jupiter Ascending.
Well, yeah. Of course. That's another one to add to the list.
I know. I want to see Jupiter Ascending.
Yes.
Yeah, and to throw back to something else, there's always that one movie right after you win the Oscar that you're embarrassed with. Like for Natalie Portman, after she won for Black Swan, it was Your Highness. For Halle Berry, after she won for Monsters
Catwoman.
Ball, it was Catwoman. Yeah.
And there
For
was Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock,
Yeah.
it was All About Steve, the same year as The Blind Side. Yeah, it's just that always seems to happen.
How the universe works.
Right.
Everything
It's
balances
like you can't
out.
have everything.
Right. And a lot of people just say, after they've made something that good and that stellar, they just want to have a film where they just really don't care.
Yeah.
They just go out and make some money. And I can kind of get that, but at the same time, you can still give a decent performance unless the script is complete shit
Well, I
and the
think
director is shit.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Halle Berry had to lick some guy's face. Mm-hmm. I mean, come on. I think she licked the guy's face as best as she possibly could as a cat. Just saying.
Please, I'll agree with you. Just don't defend Catwoman.
Oh no!
No?
No.
Yes?
No.
No.
Oh, no.
So,
Okay.
Sorry,
Best Actress.
I pulled a Shia LaBeouf there.
No. So, for Best Actress, we had Julianne Moore for Still Alice. And again, something I haven't seen, but I've heard nothing but great things about it. Now, getting into a little side tangent here, one of the themes that people were saying of this year was that for, Best Picture and for Best Actor and Actress, the common theme was if you have a mental or physical illness, you'll win the Oscar. Which,
You're portraying.
portraying
someone,
it, yes.
Not the actual.
No, not the actual
Visual
actor or
movie or
actress. No.
Yeah, it's not like Robert Downey Jr. Going, you never go,
No.
you kids know the line.
Yeah.
You know it.
Well, in past years that's happened where, you had Tom Hanks with Philadelphia when he had AIDS.
Right.
And there's been other cases of that where someone is either physically or mentally ill. Yes, fangirl.
Oh, I was just saying last year was Matthew McConaughey.
with-
Dallas Buyers
yeah.
Club.
Dallas
Perfect
Buyers
example.
Club
That's
too,
right.
And then there was, when they changed their appearance.
Yeah.
Also, like kind
Right.
of like Charlize Theron in Monster.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another good point too. But in this, you had in Birdman, you had Michael Keaton, who had dual personality disorder. In Theory of Everything, you obviously had ALS with Stephen Hawking's, and then in Still Alice, you had Julianne Moore, who had Alzheimer's in that movie. So you had 3 cases of that this year, and some people are saying, well, is this going to set a trend for future years for the Academy? I mean, it's been happening for a while, but it was just more prominent this year. But we'll see whether or not that continues in the future. For Best Supporting Actor, we had J.K. Simmons for Whiplash, and I am so happy J.K. Simmons won. That he is one of the coolest men in Hollywood right now, because he's done so much as far as the way of like stuff for like conventions and hanging out with like nerds and just cosplayers and stuff. He's a really cool guy, and apparently he gave an extremely scary performance in Whiplash. I actually looked up the story for it, and it's intense. I really want to see what happens in this, and apparently J.K. Simmons just horrific what he does in the movie.
Super.
Yeah.
Now I'm drawing.
What's the movie about?
Yeah, I'm drawing a
Whiplash?
blank.
No, you go ahead.
No, I could only infer what I can from the clips that I saw, but
Oh.
it's something about he's like a music instructor,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like really, extreme with the kids.
Gotcha.
That's exactly right. Yeah, he teaches at a very prestigious college or school somewhere, and his method of teaching is to basically push them to their limits, as far as physically and mentally, to get the best performance out of them. And in the clip they showed in the Oscars, he's just beating the hell out of the drummer. You're like, holy crap!
Oh, memories.
Yeah. Yes. But for Best Supporting Actress, we actually had Patricia Arquette for Boyhood. Now, Boyhood actually didn't win a whole lot this year. That was one of the surprising no-shows for the Oscars. A lot of people thought that Boyhood would actually not sweep, but do much better, win like 4 or 5 Oscars, and I think it only came out with 1 or 2. So that was one of the more shocking ones. Again, I have not seen Boyhood,
No.
but I know a lot of people in Austin were upset about it because they did a lot of the filming in and around Austin for Boyhood. So
Sorry, Austin.
yeah, sorry. What are you gonna do?
Womp womp.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like when Bruce Willis made that movie here that never even got finished.
What?
Oh, that's right.
What
right.
movie was this?
It was never completed.
Yeah.
They filmed like the movie
So
in Wilmington.
did
Yeah.
anybody go stalk Bruce Willis?
Some people in my
I
family
didn't know about
may
it
or may
until, like,
not
2 or
have.
Really? I would have gone with them if I knew about this, or if
like
I was
years
here.
ago.
Yeah, this was a long time ago.
I
Like, I
don't
was in grade
condone
school.
stalking. It's bad. Bad practice. But I heard that her Patricia Arquette's acceptance speech was pretty kick-ass, right?
Yes, it was. There were some really good speeches this year.
Yeah.
And I like that. J.K. Simmons had a really good one where he came out and said, you know what? Everyone right now at home, call your mom. Call
Or
your
dad.
mom, tell them you love them, and
Both of
thank them. What?
Mom and dad.
Mom and dad. I thought you just said mom. Oh, okay.
Pretty sure it was both.
I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, he was like, don't text, don't email, call them.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I forget which.
And then they show the clip of him beating up the drummer, right?
Yeah.
Beating up
Right.
I said, call him.
And then I forget who it was. It was either for Best Original Screenplay or Best Adapted. I forget who the screenwriter was. But he came out and said, I want to speak to all the kids at home right now who feel that they're the ones who are the outcasts or the ones who feel like they don't belong, and tell them I was once you. And to keep being weird, keep being yourself, because it's going to pay off. There are friends here, and we love you. And I was like, oh, that's great.
That was the one who wrote. It was for The Imitation Game.
Yes.
Yeah, Imitation Game, right. Best Adapted Screenplay. And I was like, there were really good acceptance speeches this year. I'm like,
And
thank
then-
you. Good stuff.
And then Patricia Arquette, she was the one who was just like, women deserve equal pay.
Yep. Yeah.
That was that was her one. And then did that get like a fuck yeah from Meryl Streep or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Something along
Nice.
those lines.
Yeah.
She
Nice.
stood up and
Yeah.
Mhm.
her
Which-
and Jennifer Lopez were like
Yeah.
freaking out.
Yeah, and I think it's, that's a very strong statement that needs to be made,
Mhm.
especially in something like in pretty much any industry.
Right.
But
Yeah.
and then I don't know, the other one that I heard about was Common and John Legend. I think it was where they were saying like the time for justice is now or something like that.
I don't remember that.
Okay.
Probably.
But I think they also had a good speech too. So basically, I have to
Lots.
actually go watch the Oscars
we'll
before I
watch
can
it. We'll
properly discuss it.
Yes.
For Best Original Screenplay, we had Birdman. For Best Adapted Screenplay, as we just mentioned, it was The Imitation Game. And I still really want to see that. I've
Oh, I
heard,
do too.
Yeah. Of all the ones going into the season, that was the one I was the most excited for.
Yeah, I
because
think me too.
that's stuff that like Kim and I geek out about, like code breaking and
Yeah.
I love that
Oh,
stuff.
right.
Yeah, and for me, it's Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes.
Right. That's basically all you need to know.
Well-
and
No,
then
like,
you'll
no,
go.
I am interested in the story. I am not that shallow. I am pretty shallow, but I'm not that shallow.
Well, if it shows at Wilm Film, I promise we'll go see it.
okay.
Okay.
What if I'm not here?
Oh, that's right. Oh,
Can you take me with you to your thing? Can you just,
My
like, put me in
sister,
a
I'm already
suitcase?
putting my sister in a suitcase.
Oh.
You two will have to fight over it.
Just bring another suitcase.
She's small. Yeah, she can both fit her.
You're carrying on.
Yeah, your carry on, right. So here is where some of the bigger controversy comes in. Best animated feature film was Big Hero 6.
Oh.
Right. Now, I loved Big Hero 6. And I know it tore you up, fangirl. I know you weren't a big fan of it.
It was emotional torture.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, from the beginning to the end of the movie until after the movie, I could not stop crying. Like, my fiance would mention, like, a line, what was it?
Oh, God. Maybe?
Takashi.
Takashi or Tadashi?
One of the two.
I
I
don't
can't
remember.
remember.
So basically, after the movie, my fiance would just be going around saying, Tadashi is here. Tadashi is here.
Oh.
And I would just start bawling. And I'm just like, why would you do this to me? Like, and I just didn't understand why you would do that. And it was just so sad. And I couldn't, like,
You literally can't even.
I literally couldn't even. Like, it was a good movie. Yes, it was a good movie, but like it tore me apart. Like I feel like I can't recover from that. Like, it was.
So, should I see it?
Yes, you should see it.
Okay. I'm ready for the despair and sadness.
No, I loved Big Hero 6. I really did. Now, the controversy came in two fronts. The first one being that the Lego movie didn't get nominated. Now, here's the thing. There's been some rumors that because there are live action segments within the Lego movie, that's why it didn't get nominated. However, there have been live action segments in animated films before that have been nominated. Stuff like WALL-E and trying to remember some others.
There was live action in WALL-E.
Yeah, there was moments. Do you remember when the monitors come up and then there's a live actor there?
Oh.
Yeah, which doesn't really count because
Yeah,
it's
that's not a
live
scene,
action
yeah.
within the animation.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why people think that WALL-E got nominated, but not this, because within the Lego movie there is actual scenes where there's no animation going on.
Right.
So you can't really claim that it's
Entirely.
yeah, exactly. So that's why people think that didn't get nominated. But there are some people who are claiming that if you were to exclude that, the Lego movie was the best animated movie of the year. And, whether or not you can argue that or not remains to be seen. But the other one was, a lot of people thought that being compared to the other animated films it was going up against, this wasn't even the top one. You also had The Box Trolls, which got rave reviews. I really wanted to see that. How to Train Your Dragon 2, Song of the Sea, which I didn't see, and, sorry.
Song of the Sea, which I didn't see. That's not funny.
Oh.
And then there was another
I
one.
slapped my knee.
There's another one
angrily.
called the Princess Kayame or Kagame or something like that. I forget what it was. Not Kagome, but
Kagome!
Kagome!
What?
I think we're just being racist here, but I'm not sure.
No.
Speak for yourself. Uncle Inuyasha.
I thought he was just saying different words.
No. That was actually a
Even
reference
the
to
second
something.
one?
Princess Teriyaki or something.
Yeah, there you go.
There we
Princess
go.
Teriyaki.
One of them foreign names.
Oh, God.
That's not okay.
But of all those, everyone
God.
would have sworn that it was either going to be How to Train Your Dragon 2 or Box Trolls, not Big Hero 6. A lot of people are saying that despite Big Hero 6's high points, it still wasn't close to being the best of the year. It was still a pretty common story as far as its narrative, but all the others had pretty unique narratives, and compared to the animation styles of the others as well. So
This one just made you cry your eyes out.
Maybe they watched it first, and they were too busy crying to watch the other one.
that's probably what happened.
That's probably
That
what
was
was
it.
it. That's a good point. It's a very good point.
So, regardless of that, I'm glad it won, because I loved Big Hero 6, but oh well, what are you going to do? Best Animated Short was something I'm really glad won, which is
yes.
Feast. I adored Feast. Have you guys seen that?
What was that a short before? Was it Frozen?
It was either for Frozen or for Big Hero 6. I think it was for Big Hero 6, but I could be wrong.
Oh, you know what? I think that was it.
Yeah. But Feast was about this little orphaned puppy who gets picked up by a guy who just kind of like starts feeding him little bits of food and then brings him home. And the dog ends up being like massively in love with human food. And the guy just feeds him whatever he wants. And the story progresses from there, and it gets kind of, heartfelt towards the end. But it is the most adorable animated puppy I have ever seen.
That's all he could focus on.
It was so cute. I loved the puppy.
That's so unlike him.
Yeah, right?
But no, it was a really good story, too. It was a fantastic story done in 6-7 minutes, and I'm really glad it won. Apart from that, we also had 4 Oscars go to Grand Budapest Hotel for Best Makeup, Best Costume, and Best Production Design, as well as Best Original Score.
Nice. That was a great film.
Yeah. I mean, and I could say, as far as, the production values, I mean, it's Paul Anderson, right?
I thought it was Wes Anderson.
So Wes Anderson.
You're thinking
sorry.
of Paul Thomas Anderson.
There you go.
Who does
sorry.
There Will Be Blood. And
Right,
all
right.
those-
Or he
all
was
those
just-
fun ones.
Right, the fun ones.
Or you was just
Fun.
thinking about Paul.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, Wes Anderson, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, his visual style. I love his visual style.
Yes.
Stuff from The Life Aquatic and I know I'm missing others. A Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Right.
Right. Just his visual sense. I really, really like it. And of course, you could tell it comes in the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yes, definitely.
So I'm glad it won those. Although Kim and I pointed it out, one of the women who was accepting for production design or best makeup, she went out on stage.
It was costuming.
Was it costuming?
Yeah.
She obviously didn't costume herself because she was pretty much wearing like she had tribbles all over her body. Yeah, she had
Whoa.
this big black poof balls all over her body.
It was like a black pom-pom jacket.
Yeah.
And it was like string and it connected. So it wasn't even like, they were close together. It was like one here and then like a line and then there'd be like one here.
Just wait, it's gonna be all the rage.
Oh,
I
yeah. Of course.
If I see people walking around with that in public, I'm sorry. I'm just going to point and laugh.
That's not very nice.
I don't care. But finally finishing up, best foreign language film was Ida, which is a Polish film. I had not heard of it going into Sunday night, but after hearing it won, everyone was really happy it won. They thought that it was easily the best foreign film of the year. So I have to check that one out too.
What about best original song?
Best original song was for Glory, which was
Okay.
in Selma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the John Legend
Yeah.
comment.
Yeah,
song?
I think
Yep.
so. Yeah. So there were some other technical ones which we won't get into. Best sound mixing, editing, and
Not that
effects.
they're not important.
No, not that they're not important. They're very important.
Especially editing.
We just don't have time for that.
We don't have time for all the technical.
We're editing
ones,
for
sorry.
length. So we
Yeah.
Exactly. We actually did discuss all of that.
Time jump.
But one thing I do want to run over real quick before we get into a little bit of movie news is Saturday night we had the 35th annual Razzie Awards.
Wah, wah.
Wah wah. So if you want to call them winners, I'll run over the winners of those real quick. So there was a prevailing winner for the night, which was
it an Adam Sandler
no
movie?
It is usually an Adam Sandler film, but not this year. This year it was Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas.
Oh, that's right. I
Oh, no.
forgot.
Oh.
He won 4 Razzies for Worst Picture, Worst Actor, and Worst Screenplay, as well as Worst On-Screen Duo. The on-screen duo being Kirk Cameron and his ego.
Oh.
I was gonna be Kirk Cameron and Jesus.
Yeah, Kirk Cameron and Jesus.
Jesus.
No. The Razzies don't have any problem with Jesus.
Oh,
just Kirk
just
Cameron's
Kirk
ego.
Cameron.
Oy.
But some other winners for the night were Cameron Diaz for Worst Actress for Sex Tape and The Other Woman. There was also Worst Supporting Actress, which is Megan Fox in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
yes.
which I agree with completely. We had Best Supporting Actor or Worst Supporting Actor, which was Kelsey Grammer, actually, for Think Like a Man 2 and Transformers 4. Apparently, he was terrible in
Why
those
was he in those?
because he needed a paycheck.
Because Frasier isn't a thing anymore.
Oh,
Right.
right.
Those royalties
Wasn't he
are
in
running
the
out.
third Expendables movie?
Yes, he was. I think that was
Yeah.
actually on the list too.
What?
Yeah, he was in Expendables 3.
Maybe we should just stick
What?
to being
Yeah.
the beast.
Okay.
For worst prequel / sequel / ripoff or remake, we had Annie, which I would probably agree with. And finally, we had a new one this year, which was the Razzie Redeemer Award. This was basically someone who won a Razzie in a past year and has since become very much a power in the industry and has won several Oscars. There were several people nominated. There was Sandra Bullock, who was nominated. There was also Halle Berry. I think even Mike Myers was nominated. But the winner...
I don't think he's redeemed
No.
himself.
Well, to be fair, he's directed several foreign films that have been very good.
Interesting.
Wait, what? Can I take a sidebar?
Yeah.
What would constitute as a foreign film? Speaking a foreign language or made in a foreign country?
Well, the Oscars say foreign language film.
So
It depends.
Okay.
It depends on who is giving the award. I think the Golden Globes just say best foreign film, so it could be something from England or Australia, something that's still in English language. But the Academy says best foreign language film. So,
okay.
yep.
Because I was. Oh, well, I guess he is Michael Myers. Is he can? Is he
I think
He's
he is.
Canadian.
Yes.
Okay.
He's
All right, then
Canadian.
I guess it counts.
Yep.
Carry on.
Carry on.
Game on.
Game on.
Thanks, man.
Myers. Or Mike, whatever he goes by.
Mike Myers. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You know,
But-
he could be a killer with a large knife.
That too.
I used an
star.
axe.
But the winner this year of the Razzie Redeemer was Ben Affleck, who
Oh,
Okay.
I think
makes
that's a good
sense.
choice.
That's a very good choice. He won for Geely and has since done Argo, The Town, Gone Girl, become obviously very, very good actor
Yeah.
and director.
Yeah.
So I think that's very much deserved. And the Razzies that say we reserve the right to still give you future Razzies, but we're saying right now that you're doing very good.
Yes.
So basically they're saying we're waiting until Batman vs Superman.
Right.
Yeah.
Ouch. Now, Argo, I never saw that, but it looked really good.
It
Oh,
was
Oh, we
really
did
good.
see that.
Argo was
Canadians
fantastic.
were pissed. Like,
Oh, they
Canadians
were.
were so fucking pissed because
Huh.
it was not like basically it made the Americans look really really good and the Canadians looked like wimps, but like apparently the Canadians had a lot more to do with the story than
Okay.
it was
They
let
did.
on.
It also pissed off New Zealand, of all people. In the beginning of the story, they say that only the Canadians were willing to take in the Americans. The New Zealanders actually were harboring 4 or 5 Americans themselves.
I would be pissed if I
Yeah,
would've
I
been
was
one.
like, and New Zealand's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So that movie, while it was good in terms of the story and kind of the acting and everything that was in it, it was not very historically accurate.
right.
And you could tell that from the ending of the movie. The ending is very much a Hollywood ending.
Yeah.
And we're like, we know it didn't end this way. But even so, it was still a phenomenal
It was a
movie.
good film. It was, it was edge of your seat kind of.
Oh, yes, definitely. Because Argo, fuck yourself.
Yes.
And it had a great cast.
Oh,
It
a
did.
phenomenal cast.
Amazing
yeah.
cast.
And John Goodman is a national treasure.
Yes, he is.
So getting off of that, we're going to get into a couple quick bits of movie news. The first one being is something that Will might enjoy, which is that we are soon going to get a big screen rendition of Settlers of Catan.
Never heard of it. Yeah, I don't know. I saw a headline that said just that. It said, what is that? What?
There is no
And
plot to
why?
Settlers of Catan.
Yeah,
There is no
Why?
plot.
exactly. What is it going to be? People trading sheep and wood? What's going to happen?
It would be like
That's
making
it.
it would be like making a Risk movie.
Right.
Yeah.
It was just like when people made the Battleship movie.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no plot.
And we all know how well that worked out.
Oh yeah. No,
Best movie of all time.
no, I don't think Settlers of Catan is Hasbro. I could be wrong, but I don't think it is.
No.
I'm pretty sure it's an independent game.
You know,
I
next they're gonna.
want to say it's a German.
Well,
originally a German game.
the maker of the game was Klaus Tuber,
yeah, that's
so
German.
I'm pretty sure he's German.
Yeah. Who has the rights now to it? I don't know. though.
Yeah. Well, the producer is now Gail Katz, who was actually. This is going to be her directorial debut. She's been a producer for a long time. She was a producer on The Perfect Storm and Mighty Joe Young and a few others. But she obtained the film and production rights through her production company called Gail Katz Productions, of course. And
How original.
how original, yeah. Name it after yourself. But the game, of course, multiplayer strategy game, which sees players attempt to create a dominant community through an ever-changing fictional land of Catan. Now, Will and I have played it. In fact, did you guys play it with us?
No, I refused
did.
to.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I wasn't
weren't
there.
there.
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
If I were,
You would have
You would have
refused
sat
to.
in the
I
corner
probably
drinking
would have
wine.
gone and opened a couple bottles with Kim, and we just sat in the corner drinking instead.
Oh,
Now,
I may have preferred that.
now look, it's a game I
kidding.
enjoyed.
Yes.
I have a lot of fun with Settlers of Catan. Does it warrant a movie? Fuck no.
no. Not quite.
There's no plot to it. Yeah, it's what they described here. It's a multiplayer game where you create a bigger nation of settlers and farmers and spread amongst the land and try and become number one. It's simple as that. It's Risk except a bit different version. And how does that warrant a movie? It fucking doesn't.
Nope.
Yeah.
I mean, and I've played it before. I'm not just saying that I don't like the game before having played it. I have played it and I did not enjoy it. But no, it does not warrant a movie at all.
There's actually a quote here from Katz, and I love this quote that she has. She says, "I've been waiting to see an adaptation for this game for years, ever since my Catan-obsessed college-age kids introduced me to it." So basically, her children introduced her to the game, and now she's just like, oh, now I want to, make something out of it. Because, this has happened before with things like Dungeons and Dragons, where we saw the great movie adaptations that came out of that.
There was a
You know
movie
what?
adaptation of that?
Oh yeah, there
Oh,
was.
yeah.
I'm gonna make a movie based off of Don't Wake Daddy.
Yes.
Nice.
I want to see that.
Well, at least there's a point to that.
Right.
Right? Yeah.
I'm going to make one of
and you know what?
Scrabble.
And you know what, Will? You and I can
good.
co-produce It from the Pit and Tornado Rex, okay?
I don't know what you just called me, but I'm on board.
Or we should do Crossfire. That's-
Crossfire.
Yeah, we gotta have this song.
Crossfire.
Fucking yes! There needs to be a Crossfire movie.
Metal discs going around the bowl.
Oh, yes.
How much fun can you have? Oh,
You know what it would look like? It would look like, what was that movie? Not Roller Derby. but-
rollerball.
Yeah, that was it. It would basically what Crossfire will look like. I guarantee it. Some dystopian future where, that kind of shit's going on.
Big
Yeah.
giant balls.
Giant
rolling around.
balls flying around here.
With people in them.
Oh,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
even better.
But all I'm going to say is, I don't know what kind of story you're going to weave from this. I mean, if you're going to just write in a completely new narrative that is a solid story and just set it in Catan, that's great. But if that's the case,
You don't need to.
you don't need to call it Settlers of Catan.
Just make up a new name,
Right.
for this country or
Yeah.
whatever.
But it's all about marketing that name. We've always talked about purchasing that name and marketing that name.
Branding.
I think branding.
no.
Oh, didn't
not
they also
conform.
make a Need for Speed movie
Yes.
recently?
That wasn't that good. But that's the video game genre, which we won't get into.
But haven't we learned that these things don't work?
No.
No.
Apparently not.
Like, and also, who are they targeting this movie to? Like, who are they targeting these movies to?
Yeah, niche gamers like Will and I who have played it a few times and really enjoy it. Like, Settlers
But
of
you
Catan
still won't watch this movie.
No, we won't.
So who was it targeted towards?
That's a good question.
Bad math is what led to this.
What's a popular board game right now? Oh, this thing. All right, get the rights.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But the final bit of news, which actually was released last week, and I'm really excited for it, and I wanted to discuss it, is that Neil Blomkamp has taken over for the Alien sequel, which Fox have been talking about doing for a while, but it has been very rumored. They hadn't really confirmed it. No one knew if it was going to be a Prometheus sequel or if it was going to be a continuation of the Alien series. No one really knew. But it's been confirmed through both Fox and Neil Blomkamp himself that he's going to be headlining, or not headlining, but directing this newest from the Alien franchise. So it will be a sequel to either Alien 3 or Alien Resurrection. We don't know which one yet.
I still need to see the rest of the Alien movies.
I know. And we're going to have you watch Alien 2 very soon, which,
Okay.
or I should say
Aliens.
Aliens. Here's what's actually been happening. It's kind of weird how this all transpired. Neil Blomkamp, who has been filming with Sigourney Weaver on Chappie, they have been discussing an Alien sequel. So they actually sat down and started doing concept art for a possible next Alien movie together.
Wow.
And they started posting that on Instagram and Twitter, saying, oh, look, here are some cool Alien designs. Fox picked it up and said, okay, we like that. We want you to direct. And he's like, huh?
But, okay.
Yeah, sure. And he just came out on Twitter is like, so it appears I got it, you know? And like, really, he wanted to get it, but he had really no intention of actually thinking he would get it. And it just happened to fall in his lap.
Good for him.
No, that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
so he was actually quoted on, he said, Sigourney knows about it, and part of it was just inspired by speaking to her on set when we were filming Chappie, and getting her thoughts on Alien and what she thought the movies would come up after Aliens and what she thought the character of Ripley would become. He's getting a lot of inspiration from her, which I think is great.
Is he writing it?
He could be
Or
writing
just
and directing. I'm not sure, but right now they've only confirmed directing.
Okay.
And if you can go look up some of the artwork that they did, some of it's really intriguing. Apparently, what the route they're going to be going is they've actually been able to exploit the alien DNA and make it into like biomechanical suits. So like you see Ripley in like an alien suit that's kind of like bio armor. It's like that's really weird looking. And it's like this weird cross feed across her face that gives her the protection and like the defenses of an alien species, but she's still human. It's really intriguing. You know, we'll be able to. We should probably pull them up later. The only other update from this is that 20th Century Fox has confirmed the news and that they are saying it is not the Prometheus sequel, but it is in fact going to be an Alien sequel, and it's due out March 4th, 2016. So it's only 1 year from now.
Wow.
So yeah, it's going to be a quick
Oh my
turnaround.
gosh, 1 year.
Yeah.
But there's been a couple things about this news being released. The first one being there's actually been a bit of backlash to it. Apparently, ever since Elysium, people have fallen out of love for Neil Blomkamp. I haven't, but a lot of people think that he's way too pretentious with his stories and that he has way too much allegory with comparing, you know, certain events in his stories to real events in life. I don't necessarily agree with that, but a lot of people are now dreading this, thinking, oh, you know, the aliens are now a symbolism for, you know, the bourgeoisie, and the Marines are now the capitalist society. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Really? Do you really think that's what he's gonna do with aliens?
But essentially, any kind of invasion or alien movie has that kind of undertone regardless.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the idea of the other, the idea that, you know, we have to fight it off. And there is that kind of imagery in any kind of alien movie that we see, to be honest.
Right.
So, you know, it's not that far of a stretch, regardless if there was more, you know, symbolism in it. But
It's not necessarily just his symbolism. It's the genre.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I agree with that. And secondly, I love Neil Blomkamp. He's only directed 2 or 3 movies, but the ones I've seen, I've adored. I know Elysium didn't get good
It
reviews,
was an awful movie.
but I still appreciated what it was trying to say. Because a lot of people said, oh, it's about class warfare. I'm like, no, it's actually about healthcare. The movie is about healthcare.
I think movies like that have a lot more than just one theme.
Oh, they do.
You can't just say, like, it's just about this or just about that. It's about a lot of different things, but I think this movie in and of itself was not that good.
Right. Now, and if you had problems with Elysium, it's okay. I understand why a lot of people hate it. I just didn't hate it as much as everyone else. I still got some good things from it. Before that, he had District 9. Fucking love District 9. One of my favorite movies of the last decade. And I'm looking at people like, what has happened? He's made 2 or 3 movies and now you hate the guy? What's going on here?
Because everybody else is also a pretentious boob.
Right. So he has one movie coming out in the next week, which we'll discuss soon, which is Chappie. Now, the early press for Chappie hasn't been great. It's apparently what the early press is saying. It's better than Elysium, but not as good as District 9. So, I don't know. I still really want to see Chappie, but, we'll discuss that later on in our future presentations. But for right now, I'm very excited about this. I could not be more excited about this, because with the way that Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection turned out, you can't get much worse in the Alien franchise. You really can't.
I'm not a huge fan of the series, so I'm not, I like him. I like his work, so hopefully he'll do something cool with it.
Good.
Yeah, and I mean, I still have to see Aliens, so I've only seen the first Alien movie, so I really...
We will watch Aliens very soon, I guarantee it.
Okay.
If there's nothing else, we're going to get into the trailers. The first one being Cymbeline.
Of God, we ask one favor, that we may be forgiven.
We all carry around these demons without any rhyme or reason. I guess it's a never.
Where's our daughter? Where is she?
A couple things about this. First, I only heard about this one recently, and it only comes out in 2 or 3 weeks. Actually, in 3 weeks from now, yeah. I was really confused at the first viewing of this trailer until it got to the very end, when it said, based on the works of William Shakespeare.
An
unknown work.
Previously.
Yeah.
Which
Right.
I didn't see the first time I saw the trailer.
Now, this is based off the crime tragedy play of Shakespeare called Cymbeline. None of us really know what this story is. It's apparently a crime tragedy. It has something to do with this character, the lead character, who is Ed Harris, who's going to be playing the part of Cymbeline.
There's like 12 lead characters.
Yeah, there are a lot of lead characters in this, yeah. But apparently his role is that he is some sort of, I don't want to say the head of a mafia family, but somehow is a criminal with a heart, I think is what it's trying to say. But it has something, Kim had mentioned that it kind of looked like Romeo and Juliet at parts.
Well, no, the only reason I said that was because I saw that I missed where it said previously unknown Shakespeare, and I just saw William Shakespeare.
Yeah, I just saw Shakespeare.
Yeah, exactly. And then before that, when he was talking about his daughter, and I thought the other guy was Ethan Hawke's son, so that's what I thought.
Oh, yeah. Like
That's
the
why I
family
thought it might
arrangement,
have been.
but
Yeah.
Those
Yeah,
Capulets.
Yeah, exactly.
I could not distinguish who was related to who in what in that trailer.
Yeah.
I was really confused.
Yeah, the second time I
Curse
saw
upon
it,
both your
I
houses.
don't. Yeah, it's
Shut
like
up, Prince.
I don't really stand by that. I think he's Ethan Hawke's son anymore.
Oh, okay.
It could be
Like
anybody.
You're saying, okay, so there's Penn Badgley.
Badgley? Yeah. Baggins.
Baggins?
That guy. That's who you're talking about, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, this was apparently unknown work. I don't know how you have too many unknown works by Shakespeare at this point, but apparently this was one of
It
them.
happens.
It's possible.
Whatever. I mean,
Probably.
Tupac is still putting out new albums. You never know.
Huh.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. Sorry. But the director of this is actually Michael Amaniera. And he hasn't had a whole lot of American work released. The only one that is really notable was actually a modern retelling of Hamlet back in 2000 that starred Ethan Hawke. So,
Okay.
It all comes full circle.
yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh, yeah. Of
So I
course,
looked
I
up
know
this
who that
director,
is.
and he hasn't had any other works as far as Shakespearean retellings, because there are some of those occasionally. Like we had the one of Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
And Claire
And-
Danes. I was saying Joss Whedon just came out with. Well, I guess it's.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
he did Much Ado
Much
About
About
Nothing,
Nothing,
right?
yeah.
And funny, I really want to see that because apparently it was
too.
only filmed over like a week's period in his own home.
Yeah.
He just
And-
set
and
up
it's
like, okay, let's
and
film a
basically
movie.
it's all his friends.
Right. Let's get together and film a movie. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
That
Yeah.
was in Netflix. I don't know if it's still on Netflix now. It was on Netflix the last time I checked. So
Nice.
I'll have to look that up. So, yeah, this was his really only notable American work. But in this, we have Ed Harris as Cymbeline. We also have Ethan Hawke. We have Mila Jovovich. And we have Dakota Johnson, straight off her 50 Shades of Grey performance. And we also have Anton Yelchin, who you may know from Star Trek and Star Trek Into Darkness.
Yep.
He was Chekhov.
yes, he was also in that movie with Robert Downey Jr. That one where he's a kid and he gets lying and then sells drugs but
Well, Robert Downey Jr. and drugs, you're missing.
no,
There's a
not
lot.
Robert,
That wasn't a movie.
not Robert Downey Jr. doing the drugs.
Was that Saving
Like Charlie
Bartlett?
Bartlett.
Saving Charlie Bartlett.
Or was it just Charlie Bartlett?
Or was it just Charlie Bartlett? I don't
think.
know.
He was Charlie
Was it
Bartlett.
just- or was it just Charlie Bartlett?
He
Never-
was Charlie Bartlett.
Okay,
that
never-
was a good movie.
Never saw that.
I
So,
liked him.
as far as this goes, yeah, this is a modern retelling of a Shakespearean play. And you can tell they're speaking in that pentameter. They tell they have that.
That makes me really happy. I love it when they do that because I love that.
I don't really love that because I can never understand it.
Okay, well that's not my problem.
I'm going to make it your problem.
Okay.
Well, I'm with you. I like that style as well.
Yeah.
It can be difficult at times.
Yeah.
But
Well, they do that. Well, I mean, going back to Joss Whedon's Much Ado About Nothing, they do that in that too.
Yes, they do.
So,
Nice.
But I tell you what, in all the other tellings, even the modern retellings of, like Romeo and Juliet, you might see a couple, like, modern weapons or guns or, like cars or things like that in the stories. But I don't know if William Shakespeare ever thought of Ed Harris with a machine gun. I don't know if that's what
If
he
he
had
did,
in mind.
then that's what's that guy? Nostradamus.
Nostradamus.
Like, I was thinking it's not Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
Just keep rolling.
But yeah, I was a little taken aback by that. I'm like, I don't see Shakespeare in this. In all the other tellings.
No, because Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes' Romeo and Juliet was modern. They
Yeah.
did have cars. They did everything modern except for they had the same verse.
Right, but they weren't having massive
Shakespeare.
gang battles in the streets.
yeah, they
Yeah,
were.
they did.
I thought they were fighting. I didn't know they were having gun battles.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. They had guns.
Yeah.
What's his face was killed by a gun.
Mercutio.
That.
Mercutio.
Was it?
Mercutio. Yeah.
Was it John Leguizamo?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
No, was it?
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was the one who killed the guy.
I don't remember.
No, it was him. He's the one who
That's so
says a
long
plague,
ago.
a plague upon both your houses.
Oh.
Yeah.
But he was shot. And
I remember he
Yeah.
was shot. I just didn't think there were a lot of guns. That's
but
all.
still, there
No,
were
they had
guns.
guns. He was waving. Leonardo DiCaprio was waving around his gun.
What was he shooting like Battle Royale?
But I think that statement would be weird though when you say I don't know if Shakespeare ever imagined Ed Harris with a gun, and then you're like, oh well, but Leonardo DiCaprio or like Romeo and Juliet only had like one or two, so it's okay. Like,
Right.
Well, I just no. It's one thing to have one or two guns in a movie if it's a modern retelling. I get that. Instead of having a sword fight, you have a gunfight. I get that. But at the same time, I don't imagine a massive gang war in the middle of the streets.
Well, there wasn't a massive gang war.
But that's what I'm talking about. Was there a
But maybe
massive?
he wrote a massive gang war in this one.
You don't know anything about this
exactly.
play.
There, okay, all right, fine.
Pipe down.
I just don't.
you.
When I think Shakespeare, I don't think this. That's all.
Well, that's your issue. You're going to have to work through that. And, the rest of us are going through our lives just fine.
It seems like Will's gonna be the only one who has no problems with this.
No, I mean, if it's done well, it's done well. It doesn't matter about the trimmings of it.
I mean, I don't think I have a problem with it necessarily. I just have trouble understanding, when they speak in Shakespearean.
I
Okay.
just don't know what's going on aside from people killing people.
That is a fair point. I mean, can we really get from this trailer what is actually happening here?
No.
Something happened to a daughter, and then the people die.
Yeah, and
Yes.
then something about paying tribute.
But people
at
were
some
dying.
point.
I didn't even know people were dying. Like, I honestly had no idea what was happening.
Someone got shot.
Right.
Here's the
In a
thing, though.
van.
With how many trailers can we say that are in just regular English, though? Like, what the hell am I looking at? What's going
Yeah,
on? 'Cause
that
it just
does
flashes
happen a
to
lot.
crap
Yeah.
That's
Right.
like going
Yeah.
on. You know.
I'm not saying that has anything to do with the.
What was the last one we saw that was really confusing to me? The Jennifer Lawrence and Bradley Cooper one.
Selena?
Yes,
Or
that one.
Celine or Selena? I forget what it was
Selena,
called.
Selena.
Yeah.
So I thought Selena was that Jennifer Lopez.
Then maybe it was.
Yeah, yes.
Maybe it was
that's-
Celine
Selena.
then.
No, it was either. It was neither of those things then.
I thought it was like something. I thought it was 2 words.
Not Selena.
It's not
Yes,
Selena.
That's it.
The
That's the
movie.
name of
Selena
it.
the movie. But not Selena. Not Jennifer.
You mean the one
it's
with-
not Jennifer Lopez. It's Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence and Bradley Cooper.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's like
what
a
I'm talking
logging
about.
company.
Yes, that one.
I thought it was a completely different name. I could be way wrong.
Serena. Serena.
Okay, we were close. We were 1 letter off. Serena.
Yes.
So as far as this goes, all I'm going to say is I think I do want to see it. I mean, I'm a fan of this type of I wouldn't. It's not just iambic pentameter. I know that's not what it's actually called. I wouldn't just call it Shakespearean either. What type of speak would you call this? No.
Shakespearean prose. I don't know.
There you go. That's fair enough. Yeah. But I'm a fan of this in cinema. So yeah, I'll probably go out of my way to see this. I'm looking forward to it.
Definitely. And Ed Harris is great.
Oh well, yeah. Anything with that Harris is
I think
great.
we mentioned earlier
Yeah.
before this all started recording that
Yep.
Ed Harris is incredibly sexy.
That's a fine-looking man.
So we're going to move on to our next trailer, which is The Cobbler.
It's the Stitcher.
I could be anybody I want.
My boyfriend wanted me to drop these off.
And you are.
Thank you. You there?
Yeah?
Come here.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Shop's closed half the time, acting all crazy. I know where this is going. I've seen it before.
You have not seen this before. Trust me.
So, first thing I have to say about this is not Happy Madison Productions.
Yay.
Yes, thank the Lord.
You could tell because it wasn't in some exotic location.
Exactly. It wasn't being filmed in some theme park or in Hawaii or in Africa. No, it's being filmed in New York City. Oh no, you don't get a vacation now, Sandler. Boo-hoo. But yeah, that's the first thing I did want to mention because Sandler at this point doesn't know how to write movies. He's just forgotten what to write and how to direct, or, you know, amongst all his friends that he has within Happy Madison. Just get away from them, because apparently he was actually pretty good in Men, Women, and Children that came out this past year. So the idea is, if he's not employing himself, he can actually be a decent actor and still be funny. So Sandler, just get away from your own productions, please. But anyway, the director of this is Thomas McCarthy. Now, he was an actor in Syriana 2012, The Lovely Bones. He was a writer for Up and $1 Million Arm. But this is going to be his directorial debut. In this, we're going to have Adam Sandler, of course. We have Dustin Hoffman, Steve Buscemi, and, of course, as you see in the trailer, Method Man. Just a little weird Method Man. Okay, sure, why not?
Yeah, man.
But the story of this is that you have this guy, a cobbler, who is working somewhere in New York, was what we're assuming, and does his job every day, you know, just repairing shoes, fixing shoes, this and that. Yeah, cobbles. And at one point, Method Man comes in and drops off a pair of shoes and says something threatening and just kind of passes it off.
It doesn't really matter that it's Method Man.
Well, I'm just saying, it's Method Man.
Okay.
Anyway.
He just wants to mention
Yeah.
that.
So,
okay.
Method Man, Method Man, Method Man.
Obviously.
So, the machine, his repair machine breaks down, and he goes down and finds a very, very old machine in the basement, you know, to get by in the meantime. And after he repairs these pair of shoes, for some reason he decides to put them on, and realizes he now looks like this guy. So he starts trying on other pairs of shoes through this machine, and sure enough, he turns into the person each time. Which, for some reason, according to Dustin Hoffman, turns him into the Guardian, like a protector of people.
The Guardian of Souls.
Of souls.
Of souls.
Yeah. Huh?
That's a pretty good pun. Pretty good. I like it.
Nice.
No, they actually said that in the
I know. They said in the trailer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah, we didn't think you were that good.
I know. I was like,
But I'm gonna say this isn't we've seen stranger premises in Hollywood. This is no big deal, but
sure.
It doesn't seem that funny. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can get out of this type of premise, but the stuff they had in the trailer,
I don't think it was meant to be funny. Like, not 100% funny, kind of like a dramedy thing, like, where...
You think so?
Yeah, because, they're talking about how big business is trying to go and take over the stores,
which, by the way, is very, very cliche.
But
but
either way, I don't think that necessarily was a premise for laugh out loud comedy. I think it was more like, talking about how, walking in other people's shoes and trying to figure out how to help the community with what he has.
Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, you can tell they're still trying to push the comedy in the trailer. I just thought that the bits that were comedy weren't that funny.
But I don't think. But as I don't think they were trying that hard. Like, it's not a very typical Adam Sandler kind of.
I agree with that.
Right.
It's not his exuberant, bouncing off the walls humor.
Yeah.
And I agree.
Jokes.
Yeah, poop jokes, right?
But,
which I'm very happy about.
Yeah.
Like, the less of that, the better.
But yeah, I think it kind of falls more in the genre of like a dramedy where there's more like, heartfelt moments and stuff like that. And
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fair enough. And if that's what the movie's going for, I guess I can appreciate it a little more for that. I don't know. I'm not very interested in this. I mean, I feel like there's not enough original and there's a little too much cliche for it to be something I would go out of my way to see. All that being said, I'm happy Sandler is finally doing something different. He's just being himself again, and giving, a much more subdued performance. I appreciate that, but I don't know. I mean, this isn't something that piques my interests.
No.
Anyone?
When I saw it, I was just like, oh my God, are they going to be talking about like food? I thought, at first I thought of like a cobbler, like an apple cobbler or something like that. I was like, oh, not that kind of cobbler. Okay,
And Will, you actually thought it was about the old fairy tale, right?
Right, yeah. There aren't any gnomes or elves making
Right.
shoes that make for him. That we saw at least.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I might see it if it's, nothing else is on and I have no other choice to do anything else. But other than that, probably not.
Yeah,
No.
we'll seek it out.
Yeah. If you want to watch a movie about shoes, making shoes and stuff like that, I would suggest Kinky Boots.
Kinky Boots?
Kinky Boots. Amazing, amazing movie.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's about this. Yeah, it's set in the UK. I think it's a British movie.
Okay.
And this shoemaker who makes the same kind of like loafers.
Okay.
It's a family store that's been making the same kind of shoe over and over again until someone comes in and was just like, hey, basically he wasn't making any money, so he needed to expand his business. Right. So they ended up going into making shoes for male cross-dressers.
Oh.
And expanding the business that way, but then it's kind of the struggle between staying in that traditional realm of making the male loafers and then making shoes for guys
Kinky
Kinky
Kinky boots.
So it's actually a really, really great movie. I can't remember the name of the actor who's in it, but
that does sound familiar now that you're talking about
it. It's a really good movie.
That sounds really intriguing.
Yeah.
I'll have to look
if you get
that
a
up.
chance, everyone should see it. It's a
Okay.
good movie.
Well, thanks for recommending that. So moving on to our next trailer, which is Kill Me 3 Times.
I've got something for you if you're interested.
I'm listening.
How does 50 grand sound?
Like a dirty job.
I want you to kill my wife. She has a dental appointment at 2.
Okay.
Fuck me.
Speaking of something that isn't supposed to be a comedy, but is a comedy. So with this is actually an Australian film, and this actually was released a few months ago. So it's this time around it's going to be getting its American release in about a month's time. It's going to be directed by Kriv Stenders, and he is mainly an Australian director. He's had some work on some not really any notable Australian films I can think of off the top of my head. Nothing that's gotten a international release. But for Australia, they've been pretty good films, at least as far as their ratings and how they've been received from the press and the critics. This is his first international release, and he's gotten a pretty good cast behind his international release. I mean, right off the bat, we have Simon Pegg, who is fucking phenomenal. Yes. There's few things Simon Pegg doesn't do that isn't extremely funny. We also have Teresa Palmer, who was in The Sorcerer's Apprentice and I Am Number 4. We also have Sullivan Stapleton, who is in Gangster Squad, and he was the lead role in 300 Rise of an Empire, which I actually didn't see, but I heard some pretty good things about it. And we also have Luke Hemsworth. Now, he is one of the Hemsworth brothers, and he is actually the oldest of the Hemsworth brothers. I didn't know a whole lot about this guy. He has been doing some roles in television and in film, but nothing that really stands out. I mean, I can't recall any films he's been in. Can you guys?
Nope.
No. I don't know. I feel like, despite being the oldest, he is the lesser known of the three Hemsworth brothers. I mean, obviously we know Chris is, at this point, the biggest name. Liam is making a name for himself as well. Mm-hmm. I don't know Luke.
Luke Hemsworth looks like Chris Pine.
You think so?
A little bit. Yeah. But then I also think Chris Hemsworth looks like Chris Pine.
They all kind of eerily
look
alike.
It was the same batch.
Yes.
Does Will look like Chris Pine?
No.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
His name isn't
Oh,
Chris.
to be so lucky.
But because I was saying how, because Chris Hemsworth was Papa Kirk in
in Star Trek, right? Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, oh my gosh, they look so alike. I think that was so cute that they, and I was like, oh my gosh, if Chris Hemsworth was Captain Kirk instead of Papa Kirk, I would have watched that even more times because
I would agree with that. I'm going to say the beginning of the Star Trek movie was my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah.
That beginning with, I forget what's the ship, the Kelvin, going up against Nero's ship all by itself. Mm-hmm. That is a heart-wrenching moment. Mm-hmm. Those first 10 minutes, I was like, oh my God. I'd only wish the rest of the movie had, kept that level. I mean, it would have been possible to do that. But just that for opening 10 minutes, I was like, oh my God, this is so good. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, as far as this goes, this is a story about a hitman, played by Simon Pegg, who takes on a job to kill a man's wife. And it turns out that he can't pay the hitman because the wife has all the money. So he says, well, you kill her, you'll find your money. But it turns out someone else in the town is also trying to get at this money, and they end up, basically knocking her out and saying, well, they have to kill her, and then the woman breaks out, and the whole time Simon Pegg's just watching this, just having a good time. These people just butchering each other. And I'm going to say, I want to see this. This looks highly entertaining.
It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really does. I'm trying to think of some other films that have gone this route. Stuff like, I'm trying to think, you remember The Losers?
Yeah.
It's kind of the same route as this. Would you agree?
No.
No? Okay. Does anyone else have anything that they can compare this to?
I feel like it's similar to stuff, but I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah. So.
Oh, well, you know what? It reminds me of a movie. The plots are not really the same, but the way the theme will play out. In Bruges. Anyone seen In Bruges?
Oh, that was a fucking awesome movie.
I loved In Bruges.
That was amazing.
And would you think of In Bruges when you think of this?
No, not really.
Well, I mean, I know in Bruges it's about the hitman escaping instead of actually performing the crime. But the way that the comedy is being set up, I feel like it's the same type of style.
Yeah, I can see where you're going with that.
Okay. All right.
You mean it's kind of like a low key action comedy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can go in for those. That's great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like them because they're like the
No. I was thinking of
No.
I was thinking of other movies. Another one that popped into my head was, but I don't think it's in the same kind of style. Lucky Number
Slevin.
Lucky
I
Number
thought of
Slevin.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucky Number 11 was much darker though.
It was.
Oh man.
That was a great movie.
Oh, I liked it, but that ending was dark.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I want to see it again. It was
Me too.
awesome.
We have a lot of movies on our slate right now.
Yeah, I know.
Never saw it.
Oh, it's so
that
good.
was good. But as far as this goes, yeah, I would say I'm looking forward to it. Was Simon Pegg's last film World's End?
That's what I remember it to be, but he could have done other things.
I can't recall him doing anything else since then.
Star Trek.
It's Star Trek, yeah, Into Darkness. Yeah, that would have been the last thing, I guess. I feel like in the vein of what he was doing with that trilogy that he had, because he had Shaun of the Dead, The Fuzz, and then World's End. Hot Fuzz, yeah. And then World's End. I feel that those are... I mean, this is much more of a darker comedy than those, but I feel like this is almost in the same vein as those, where it's...
Like, those were, like, British comedies, and this is an Australian comedy.
Right.
Right in the same vein, like...
That's not what I was going for at all.
But those were produced and, like, written by Simon Pegg.
Yes,
and
they
everything,
were.
But this wasn't, right?
Yeah, right. This wasn't. But what I'm saying is those were kind of darker but more low-key action and comedy. And this is kind of going the same way, even though it's darker.
Much darker.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's weird to say much darker because those were really dark. Like, if you stop and think about it, like, those three movies, the trilogy, the Simon Pegg trilogy, was really dark.
Right.
But this kind of is more... oh, no, I can't even say more twisted because, again, those are
really twisted. Right. Which is why I'm comparing it to them.
But I think they took the level of humor down.
With this one.
I
would agree with that, too,
where
yes.
it wasn't as, like, prominent.
Right. With that trilogy, you're suspending a certain amount of disbelief. You know that this is not really anchored in the real world. Whereas with this, you can see this and you're like, okay, there's stuff practically happening in here where it's not zombies and it's not, robots attacking everyone. This looks like, sick as it is, it looks like this is something that could occur.
Happen.
Yeah, So, in that sense, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I think this is going to be a lot of fun, and it's apparently been doing fairly well overseas. So, I'm looking forward to this. I hope it does well in America, because this type of movie, I want to see more foreign films like this. I want to get more in our country. I say foreign, but I want to get more releases like this, because there are too many international films that we don't get in America just because we think, international films won't play well in America. Yeah. No, fuck that. We want to see them.
Like that other one that we almost talked about with the vampires, the roommates, the vampires.
What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah,
that just got an American release and people are raving about it.
Yeah, like that looked amazing.
Yes.
With what's his face? Not Brett, the other one.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Flight of the Conchords, not Brett, but...
Phooey. Got nothing.
It's business time. That's all I got.
I like the racist dragon.
The racist dragon?
Yeah.
I've never seen Flight of the Conchords.
Oh, you should. It's amazing. But what is this? Oh, this is really bad.
Oh, well. We'll do it. We'll take care of it in post.
Yeah.
Edit it in.
Jermaine.
That's it.
Yeah, and their manager is also in that one.
In that movie that you're talking about?
Yeah.
Murray?
Murray's also in that movie.
I can't remember his name. But
I can't remember his real name. Well,
I never know the real name. I don't know no one's real name.
Well, Brett and Jermaine are their real names.
Well, I didn't know them either. So.
Oh.
She's consistent. She's being consistent.
I try.
So, moving on to our next trailer, which is Aloha.
I can't let one small meltdown destroy me.
A second chance? Who doesn't want a second chance? Your old boss wants you back. It's Hawaii, our old stomping ground.
Aloha. Gilchrist, you're back in the game.
I want to introduce you to your Air Force liaison. She's a fast burner.
A double espresso?
Morning, sir. I'm so jacked for today.
Make that a triple.
The old ex-girlfriend
Pause for the memories. I don't even remember why we broke up.
Because you're a workaholic who creates work to avoid real work.
Well, I'm still working on that.
You wrecked everything, and I put my life back together in spite of you.
Speaking of movies, which you really can't tell what's going on, I was very, very confused by this trailer.
Really?
Were you?
Yeah.
This is like one of the most straightforward ones there were.
Really?
What
You think so?
confused you?
Yeah.
It just seemed like there were, with the characters that they had, it just seemed like it was very, very busy. There was a lot going on.
Yeah.
But any less, I mean, I don't think it was any more busy than Anarchy. I am 100% sure that it was not more busy than Anarchy.
Oh, no. Oh, I would agree that Anarchy was far more confusing. You didn't know what was going on in that, but I would put this just below it.
Really?
Really?
Does anybody else agree with Mike here?
I'm sorry. I
Just.
You don't have to frame it in
I
that
know.
exact
Now
way.
you put it differently.
Yeah, whoa.
Was anyone else confused by this one?
I don't think so, unless there's
something that I didn't get.
Maybe.
Well, let's talk about this
That's
trailer.
metaphysically impossible. I have no idea what you did or did not.
They're having a stare-off competition.
So.
No, I'm just confused at this point. Now I'm confused.
Everyone's confused. So,
Yay.
the director of this is Cameron Crowe, and as you saw in the trailer, he was director of Jerry Maguire. He also directed Almost Famous and Vanilla Sky. 3 movies I like. Vanilla Sky, some people are torn about, but I enjoyed it. Recently, he hasn't had a whole lot of work. I think he did We Bought a Zoo. You remember that? Yeah.
Matt Damon?
Yeah. Apart from that, he hasn't done a whole lot of work recently, but in the early 2000s, you couldn't go anywhere without hearing his name. Everyone's like, oh my god, this guy's going to be the next big director, and then he sadly just kind of fell out of grace. No one really knew what happened to him. He did We Bought a Zoo. But in this, we have a very solid cast. We have Bradley Cooper, we have Emma Stone, Alec Baldwin, as well as Rachel McAdams, Danny McBride, and Bill Murray.
Oh, and John Krasinski.
John Krasinski, right.
Whoa.
And the plot of this, if I remember this correctly, Bradley Cooper is a test pilot for a like Lockheed or someone, right?
Sure.
Okay.
I knew he was tied to the Air Force somehow.
Right.
I wasn't
Like
sure exactly
I'll
how.
give you my
exact
interpretation
job.
after you tell yours.
All right. He was a test pilot for military or Lockheed or Boeing or someone, and fell out of grace, and then gets employment in Hawaii with Bill Murray. When he gets there, he discovers that his ex-girlfriend or ex-wife is there, and he's being egged on by another person in the Army or with Lockheed or someone, which is Emma Stone. And it's at that point that, you don't know whether or not he's going to hook up with Emma Stone or whether or not he's going to get back with his ex. You really don't know what's going to happen.
And is that the confusing part?
No.
Okay.
That's not the confusing part. It just seems to me that there's 4 or 5 different plots going on.
I don't know.
think
Maybe
so.
just the work thing and then the romance
Thing,
But I
yeah.
don't.
Well,
What else are you seeing?
Well, I'm saying we saw Danny McBride in the opening scene. Then he ends up being in Hawaii. So it's like, okay, there's a plot going on there. And then there's the whole thing with him now working with Bill Murray. Then there's one with, him and Emma Stone. Then there's one with him and Rachel McAdams. And I'm like, there's a lot of angles that are playing into this. And
I think all it was Bradley Cooper fucked something up. Okay, so that's the main thing. That he fucked something up.
Right.
And then, he goes to Hawaii because there was another opportunity.
Right.
Ex-girlfriend Rachel McAdams was there, who's now dating John Krasinski. And then Emma Stone is the liaison between the Army and the company, and the private company that Bill Murray owns. So it makes sense that, the Danny McBride character would be there because, it's probably
'cause he's
part
Air
of
Force, yeah.
in the Air Force.
Yeah, him
so
and Baldwin.
yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. I'm still a little hazy on some parts, but okay, that makes sense.
We'll make a chart later. It'll be
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a flow chart.
yeah. It just looks like a rom-com to me.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I know it's a rom-com, but I would say it's more rom than comp. That's my only thing. What did I say?
Comp.
Yeah, it's not a compedy.
Company. I want to see a company. Rom-com, sorry.
I think
But yeah, so we summed up the plot there, and I'm gonna say, I don't know. I mean, this type of movie I would expect around this time of year. You know, right around Valentine's Day, I would expect several of these kinds of movies because it's very formulaic, but there's nothing inherently wrong about that. You know, a lot of people go in for this stuff, and that's fine. I just don't know if I'm intrigued by this story. You know, of the fallen from grace test pilot.
What?
Yeah. Give me more Guinness.
Yeah, no, you've had enough, sir.
The fallen from grace test pilot who now has to win back his ex and is now having a thing with...
I don't think he's trying to win back his ex.
Yeah, I think
there was nothing that indicated
No, there
that.
was. There was a
I don't think he's actively trying to win her back. He might be, seeing her because she's there and just,
But if you meant in the trailer, Emma Stone says that.
She says what?
She's like, when she's trying to pry into his private life, she's saying, "Oh, well, she's here. You need to try and get back with her." And she's like trying to force him into this.
Just because she says it doesn't mean that's what he's trying to do.
But then,
that.
and then on the reverse, Rachel McAdams is saying,
"Did you get the girl?"
Right, you need to go and talk to her and get her. So it's like they're both trying to force each other the other way.
But they're just trying to do what they think he wants.
Yeah.
They're trying to tell him to do what they think he wants.
And then at the end of the day, he figures out, like, oh, I need to be my own man. I need to choose this and make this decision myself.
And when he does, he goes with Danny McBride. He says, "I've got the need for speed," and then takes off in his plane.
Well, guys, I don't know. At least he's happy over there. I don't know.
Anyway, I thought probably one of the funniest parts was John Krasinski in the kitchen.
Oh, that was great. I loved it. That was great. That was amazing.
Although up until that point, yeah, the trailer had been going very quickly, and I'm glad it just kind of stopped for that moment for that segment.
Yeah,
it was funny. I got a laugh out of it. Is he a mute character? Do you think, or do you?
No, he just doesn't talk.
So that was just the bit.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Try and keep up, man. We're losing you here. What's going on? You
okay? And with one of the more simpler ones, all the really complicated ones, he's just like, oh yeah, this is happening there, and then with the simplest one, he's just like, wait, what?
Because I don't understand rom-coms. That's why.
Since before, who knows how long you thought they were rom-coms. So, this is a whole new thing for you.
Yep, that's right. Let's move on.
Explains so much.
You know what? Let's get into a movie that.
But we don't know who's going to see the last one. Who's actually going to go out and watch that one? We didn't say.
All right, let's back up.
I want to know.
Are you going to?
You're damn right, I'm going to. No, all of the people that are going to be in that, I like seeing.
Yeah. I'm not. Go ahead, Karen.
I like all the people in it, but I don't think I'm going to see it. Wasn't very intrigued by the story.
Right.
It
seems like a bunch of different things that
don't say that. That's
already existed. No, that already existed that are being mashed together into one movie.
Yeah.
And I feel like Emma Stone's character, I just want to punch in the face. Just because she's so oh, I'm in the army. I'm so like this.
Yeah.
Can't see what I'm doing, but that doesn't matter.
Kind of really
cartwheels. That's what she's doing.
Well, you don't like Emma Stone in general, do you?
Well, I don't know yet. The jury's still out, but she kind of reminded me. Wasn't Sandra Bullock in what was that movie with the?
I don't know if we can be friends anymore if you continue this.
Miss Congeniality, is that the movie?
No. With the trial and the Jack Nicholson and can't handle the truth.
Oh,
that's
that's A Few Good Men.
But that was Demi Moore.
Oh, that was Demi Moore.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Ooh, yeah. Hey.
Dodged a bullet there.
Yeah.
Dodged a bullet on her friendship there.
No, it wasn't a negative thing. Was Sandra Bullock in some movie where she was someone in the Navy? Or
she was a lawyer
or an
something.
army? Or
I don't know.
In the Pelican Brief? No.
Where she was just
I think.
so... Maybe I'm thinking of the hell was that other movie with Sylvester Stallone? That's what I'm thinking of.
Sylvester Stallone.
And she's in the police.
And with Wesley Snipes.
Yes.
Oh, Demolition Man.
What?
What? Oh my God!
No, the character. I was trying to think of the character.
Sweet Jesus.
We went from A Few Good Men to Demolition Man.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay, well, now I get you. I
Do
get
you
what you're saying.
understand what I'm
Yes.
saying? Okay.
The person who is way too enthusiastic about their job.
Yeah. And like way too into the rules and everything.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
I'm sorry. It's how my brain works. You all got a glimpse into my mind.
That was scary.
It's okay. I'm actually pretty used to it.
But are you looking forward to this?
No, because she wants to punch Emma Stone in the face.
Right. Okay.
I don't think rom-coms are my thing.
Rom-coms are my thing, but I think I need a little more calm.
Oh,
okay.
And less rom.
Like Miss Congeniality, like that.
Yeah. But that wasn't really a romantic comedy. That was just a comedy.
Yeah.
A buddy. No, just a comedy.
Just a comedy with like Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, this movie had Sandra Bullock?
No.
No.
I didn't see Gravity. I love
God.
her, but I did not see Gravity.
Fair enough. So, moving on to our next trailer, which is Magic Mike XXL.
Oh, yeah.
Nice to meet you. Magic. Magic Mike.
Giggity, giggity.
Giggity, giggity, goo. Okay, so, where to start with this?
This one is a teaser.
This is a
so it
teaser.
doesn't really
That's
tell
right.
you
The
much.
next two are actually teasers, so there's not a whole lot to discuss about
the
them.
second one?
Yep, the
The
second one is a
last
teaser
one?
as well. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But I mean, there are some things we can talk about with this.
First of all, Channing Tatum got rid of his facial hair
Oh,
from
thank
Jupiter
God.
Ascending.
Mm-hmm.
And from the Oscars. He had it at the Oscars.
It wasn't as bad at the Oscars, though.
Because it wasn't like dyed, like
right.
bleached blonde
Yeah.
or anything.
Yeah.
Flesh colored.
That was
You.
not good.
It was not.
As far as this goes, now the director is not returning. The director for the first one is actually Steve Soderbergh, I believe. But this one is going to be Gregory Jacobs. Now, he was the screenwriter for the first Magic Mike, and he's been the first AD, the first assistant director, for a lot of movies. Like, this has basically been his profession. He was the AD for the entire Ocean series, for Aaron Brockovich, Contagion, Side Effects, and that's just to name a few. He's been like the AD for like 30 or 40 different films.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
But this is his directorial debut, despite working in the industry for a long time. But in this, for returning cast, we have Channing Tatum, Matt Bomer, Joe Manganiello.
From The Walking Dead.
No, he was in True Blood.
In True Blood, sorry. That
Alcide,
one.
Yes.
right?
Alcide.
Alcide. I'll
True
just call him
Blood.
Alcide. All right. Kevin Nash.
He's that.
Kevin Nash is actually a wrestler.
I was going to say, wait a minute.
Now, he was in the first one.
He was is he the older guy?
Yes.
Okay.
I think his
saw
name
the first one.
was his name
I did
Tarzan in the first one.
He played a Tarzan character, yes.
Okay,
And
well-
then he threw his back out, I think.
Yeah. Well.
It was either him or Alcide who did that in the movie.
Yes, he's
Not
actually a
real life.
wrestler. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, that brings it back.
Yeah.
Sub mid-90s.
Yeah. As well as Gabriel Iglesias and Adam Rodriguez.
Okay.
New to the cast, we have Jada Pinkett Smith.
She wasn't in the trailer, was she? Or
No,
did
she wasn't.
I didn't
No.
see her.
But she is new to it, and apparently her role was actually originally written for a man, but they changed it for her when she decided she wanted to be in the movie.
Interesting.
So yeah,
That's going to be interesting.
yeah. We also have Elizabeth Banks, who you don't see in the trailer, unless that was the girl sitting on the table at the end.
No.
We have Donald Glover.
Ooh.
Nice.
And we also have, strangely enough, Michael Strahan.
Who?
But-
The football.
The retired football player is now a commentator for. Or he's on Regis and Michael, or not Regis and Michael, Michael and Kelly. Yeah,
that's the after
I want to watch Regis and Michael.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, that'd be a great show. I'd watch that in the morning.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Michael Strahan, former linebacker for the New York Giants, is going to be in this. Yeah,
is he going to be one of the strippers?
I hope not.
Yeah, we can only
He's
hope.
going to be commentating on it.
He'll be in the background commentating on it.
But you look at the buns on that man.
Now, initially, it had been rumored and almost confirmed that Jamie Foxx was going to be in this, but he apparently is out. I don't know what happened.
Maybe
with
that was Jada Pinkett. Yeah, that he was going to do.
So,
but now it's her.
That'd be
yeah,
interesting.
possible. I don't know, but in this teaser, there's not a whole lot of plot revealed, obviously.
Right.
But there is one thing that has been revealed, that basically the plot of the movie is the entire gang from Tampa is taking a road trip to Myrtle Beach for a stripping convention.
Awesome. That sounds like fun.
And that's about it. That's
that
the
sounds
plot.
like a fun convention to go
Yeah.
to.
My first thought, they have them? Really?
They have all kinds.
Yeah.
Didn't you watch CSI? They have tons of conventions.
They have porn conventions.
They have a
furry convention.
Furry and plushy convention.
Yeah, they do.
You can have
Why
a
would they not
stripping
have a
convention.
stripping convention?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. The first thing I have to say is, no, I have not seen the original.
I have to see it.
I think I'm the only one.
You're the only one who has?
I need to see it. I
So,
haven't seen it yet.
Goddess of Gore. Did you enjoy the original?
Yeah, it was fun.
Okay. You went with your family, right?
I went with my aunt.
Nice.
Hey, Dad, you want to go see Magic Mike together?
Yep.
No, I wouldn't go that far. Just my aunt and I.
But you had fun with it?
Yeah.
It looks like a fun movie.
Yeah. It's just something you go, and it's not anything that's supposed to be taken seriously at all. The movie itself doesn't take itself seriously.
Yeah.
So it's just fun, and then you laugh at every ridiculous thing, and then you have a good time.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention, there's 2 cast members who are not returning. Olivia Munn, who was in the first one, as well as Matthew McConaughey. Now, since then, McConaughey has won an Oscar and an Emmy. So that's probably why he's not.
That's why he should come back.
Exactly.
Seriously.
Exactly.
Maybe he'll make a cameo that hasn't been announced.
Maybe he might make a cameo. He might just appear.
I didn't really like his character in the first one.
Wasn't he really, like, slimy?
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
He was
but I don't know.
probably, like, high or drunk the whole time he was filming it. So
maybe not so great for him to come back.
Right.
I don't know. He always seems like that, though, in some
That's
ways.
true.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, I had a couple of Millers in my trailer. Sorry.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Yeah. I don't know. It looks really interesting, and I don't know how accurate it is to, like, real male strippers in terms of...
Right.
I don't think it's very accurate. I mean, it would be like saying that
But
the movie
didn't-
Striptease or Showgirls is accurate, and they're not.
Have you, like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've been to, like, a Chippendale show. It's so fun. Like, those shows are really fun because, like, everything is, like, choreographed and, like, and everyone's so adorable. Like, like, and I don't know if that's what they're going for a lot of the time, but,
Yeah,
like,
probably not.
But you know, but just kind of like the whole feeling of it. Whereas, like, I feel like, I mean, I've never been to a strip club,
Right.
where, you know, it's where I'm assuming it would be different, like, in terms of
Right.
What
I don't
I
know.
do.
I've never been to either.
we're doing that for the bachelorette party.
Oh.
I can say, no, I have never been in a strip club in my life, male or female, so I don't know anything that occurs.
I don't know, but the movie, it is choreographed. The stuff that they do,
Yeah.
they go out and they dance.
Yeah.
And then sometimes, like, they have a lady come up, and then...
Yeah.
So it's...
Because that is very similar, because, like, they have, like, little, it's kind of like a show.
Right.
Where it's, like, you know, kind of like skits
Yeah.
that they have, and they
Yeah.
have people come up and
Yeah.
volunteers and stuff like that.
Right.
So,
Right, exactly.
But
And I think, didn't Channing Tatum
He used-
start actually as...
he was a stripper,
a
yes.
stripper? Yeah. So I think he had...
Oh, that's
like,
interesting. I
some-
didn't realize that.
Yeah. He was
He
a
had, like,
stripper.
some
He has
say
real
in
world
the-
experience.
No, that's not what I was going to say. He had some say in, like, what was happening.
Yeah,
in
like
the
so he
movie.
had some kind of direction in
Right.
terms of like
Yeah.
this is because he was kind of a consultant almost.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Fair enough. There's not a whole lot I can say about the movie. I mean, again, we haven't seen a whole lot from the teaser, but what can be said? I mean, it like you said, the first one was just fun.
Yeah.
That's probably what
I'm
this
sure
one's
this
gonna
one's
be.
going to be too.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I just want to like I hope that the other I said before the other girl from the other movie doesn't come back. She was annoying.
I don't know who that was.
His
Not
other-
Olivia Munn.
No,
I'm
no,
assuming, but-
no.
Oh, then I
His
don't know.
romantic interest of the sister, or whatever.
That
She
I
was
remember
annoying.
listening to a couple reviews, and a lot of people did have complaints about that actress.
Yeah.
So
if she's not back, that's good. And then you want to see if his business succeeded, his furniture making business.
Furniture making business.
Oh, is that what?
Is
he was
that what
doing
he's
in the
making?
first
Furniture.
Yeah, that's what he
Maybe that's
wanted
what
to
he
do.
uses to finance the trip to the convention.
That could be.
Is it me or was he breaking the fourth wall in the beginning of the teaser? Like the music starts and he looks up and just shakes his head like, "Nope, you're not gonna get this."
Yeah, that's what I was wondering if that scene is actually in the movie. It was just for like.
I think
the
it's just for the
trailer
teaser. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just him, like just fucking with the audience.
Yeah.
Oh, Channing.
Channing.
No. Will, are you gonna see this?
No.
Why not though? I heard the first one, like people were saying like guys really should see it because like, you know, kind of the way that they talk about the camaraderie between like the guys and stuff. It's actually a really good buddy movie too. But, you know, I mean, I don't know. Like that's what I heard.
I haven't seen it, so I can't speak to that effect.
Yeah, I want to see. I mean, I still have to see the first one, so I will probably eventually see the first one, and then I will probably eventually see this one.
Okay. And Kim, you'll see it?
Probably see it. Just with my sister or my aunt again.
Fair enough.
Or Karen.
Yeah, I will go see it with you.
It'd be a fun
we
time.
We should get everyone to go see it. Really, I think.
I think so too.
I mean, I don't see. I mean, if there was a movie about female strippers, I'd go see it.
Yeah.
So. The ball's in your court, gentlemen.
Yeah,
literally
I
and
hope-
figuratively.
Oh, whoa!
I hope you have fun.
We're going to move on to our final trailer for the night, which is Crimson Peak.
In your own best interest, proceed with caution.
Has anyone died in this house? Specific deaths, violent deaths. I have to leave.
I'm here to take you away.
There's nowhere else to go. This is your home now.
I want to see this.
I want to
Yes.
see this too.
As do I. I think we all have our own reasons for wanting to see it, but I think we all definitely want to see this.
Yes.
I'm on the fence. I don't know. I
Really?
mean,
Fuck you.
all right. You want to go? You want to
Okay.
go?
Where's the
joking,
camera?
I'm
Where's
joking.
the camera?
I'm joking.
My phone.
So, I mean, it looks really well done, and I like Del Toro. I'm just, you know me, I'm not a big horror fan, so I don't know if I want to go and see
Okay.
it.
Yeah, fair enough.
It looks like a really interesting version of Fall of the House of Usher. I don't know if you're familiar
Oh,
with
I
that.
could see that.
Like the brother and sister living in a
Yes.
fucked up house. Yeah.
I could see that.
With weird things going on between them, kind of. Like
Mm-hmm.
a weird, I don't know.
Like
Yeah.
an incestuous kind of vibe.
Almost.
Okay. Yeah.
It looks amazing, though.
Oh, yeah.
The way the
yeah.
house is, the design, all of it, it looks really good.
It is pure Del Toro.
Yeah.
Which, of course, that's the first thing we have to get to. The director of this is, of course, Guillermo del Toro from works as, you know, Pan's Labyrinth,
Yes.
Pacific Rim, The Orphanage. Gosh, I'm missing something.
The Strain, isn't that a newer project he worked with?
Oh, was that a TV
Yeah.
project?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did something with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
He talked about it. So, no, I'm
Yes.
just kidding.
He talked about it.
He spelled the word
mentioned
before.
it.
I mean, he's had supporting work on
He
the
had
Hobbit
the flu.
movies. I know I've mentioned that before. He was, I think, a producer or assistant director on the Hobbit films. Hellboy. That's what I was thinking of. Hellboy.
Yes, of
Oh,
course,
yeah.
Right.
Of course.
And I love the Hellboy series. You know, they keep talking about making a third, and I hope they do make a third before those actors, you know, get past the age of their prosthetics. But phenomenal director. His English translation is kind of bad at times, which is a lot of times his scripts aren't that good. Like, his dialogue can't be that good because there's a language barrier there. But as far as visuals, his movies are stunning. Right. Now, that can only go so far because then you just get Tim Burton. But as so far, Del Toro hasn't turned into Tim Burton. And we can only hope he doesn't do that. But as far as this is concerned, in this, we have Tom Hiddleston.
Yay!
Yeah. As well as, I'm going to butcher her name, Mia Wasikowska.
Oh.
Yes, and you may know her from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
She played Alice.
Was she also in Dark Shadows?
She may have been.
Or
are you thinking about the dark-haired girl in this trailer?
No, the blonde-haired, right?
The blonde-haired girl.
Yeah, okay.
Blonde-haired one.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure, because I thought the dark-haired girl was in Dark Shadows.
Really?
No, the dark-haired girl is Jessica Chastain.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, and she was in Zero Dark 30. Remember Mama?
Uh-huh.
She was the adopted mom in Mama.
You can adopt moms?
The
Oh, it's a joke. It's a joke. Calm down.
Yes. And she was also in Interstellar recently.
Oh. No, I think I'm wrong.
I think we broke Will.
I'm better now.
Okay.
Broke a funny fuse.
One of the interesting things about this is that the original cast for the lead two roles was actually Benedict Cumberbatch and Emma Stone. They were going to be cast as the love interests, which I know.
Oh, the love interest.
Right. Which I know the fangirl would have loved.
I would have very much. I mean, I remember reading this when the news of this broke about who was being cast, and it was Benedict Cumberbatch, and then when Benedict Cumberbatch dropped out of it, Tom Hiddleston was cast, and I was just like, okay, I think I would be good with either of these casting choices.
And the fangirl said, can't we have both?
Yeah.
I think she'd be happier if they were cast as the romantic couple.
Oh, that would be good. I would watch that.
Oh, man.
But actually, after having seen the trailer, the teaser, I think Benedict Cumberbatch would have been better.
Really?
I do.
We don't get a whole lot from this trailer
No.
or this teaser, to be
I
fair.
think Tom Hiddleston looks like he does this like creepy, weird thing.
He's fairly menacing.
I think he does. You know, even with like even with Loki, to be honest.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think Benedict Cumberbatch has something, like it's his eyes or his. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I'm imagining Benedict Cumberbatch in that role. And I'm just like, I think Benedict Cumberbatch would be creepier.
I can see what you're saying there. Thinking of some of his earlier roles, Cumberbatch, I could see how you would get that kind of performance from him in this.
Yeah.
But that being said, I don't know if Hiddleston will be any less for the wear. I think Hiddleston is still great for this.
I agree, and I agree with you completely. And because obviously I can't choose between the two of them. But in this case, though, I think like the subtleties of Benedict Cumberbatch's facial expressions, like when I'm watching Sherlock, for example, like I can see that being applied here, and that would have been amazing. Again, not to say that Tom Hiddleston is not going to be amazing in this, but I would see why the first choice was Benedict Cumberbatch.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did want to mention one other cast member before we move on to the actual story itself. Is Charlie Hunnam.
Oh, from Pacific Rim?
From Pacific Rim, yeah. He played, I forget what the guy's name, but the lead actor in Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
And just the pilot, Gypsy Danger. That's why I call him. It's the pilot of Gypsy Danger.
I heard you say a pile of Gypsy Danger.
Yeah, I totally did.
He's a pile of Gypsy Danger.
What does that mean?
Dude, I'm totally going to do this pile of Gypsy Danger right now.
Best drug ever. Gypsy Danger.
All the kids are doing it.
That's how you get the drift.
That's right.
You snort a pile of Gypsy Danger.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man. Side topic, completely irrelevant to the rest of this, but there's actually a quiz you can take now, and it will pair you with one of your Facebook friends to see who would be your drift partner if you were ever in Pacific Rim.
That's I need to take this test.
Yeah, go look that up. It'll find you your drift partner amongst your Facebook friends.
It's gonna be like the most random person that like I never talk to.
Yeah. But it determines, places you've gone and things you do and how your views, interests and things.
Oh, good. Another program that tracks all your things you're doing.
Right.
Yeah,
right. You're already being tracked.
Sounds fun.
But anyway, so as far as this goes, the visuals, yes, they are very much Del Toro. The mansion, the way that's styled, it looks like something out of Pan's Labyrinth.
Definitely.
Or or one of the the alternate worlds in Hellboy, And the way that the ghosts appear and the way they move, the way they're styled, that reminds me of some of the creatures from Pan's Labyrinth. And so just visually, I'm looking forward to this. Mm-hmm. The plot itself, it deals with a woman getting married to Tom Hiddleston. And
they get married?
Yes, they get married.
I thought she was just like someone who broke down and like had to use their house.
No.
Well, I didn't
and then
think,
they got married.
That. I just thought that they were dating and he took her to the house or something and she was staying there for a while.
No. From what I've inferred from both looking this up and from the trailer, they've already been married, but she's never actually been to his home before. This is the first time she's gone there and met the sister, and now she's realizing, hey, there's something dark with this guy that I don't really know about after meeting this sister and going into this home. And now she's second guessing the whole marriage. The visuals, again, stunning, but the plot seems it's just you're in a new environment and there's someone who you think you know who you don't really know story.
But I want to know what what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, me too.
I want to know why he's so
creepy.
Why he's creepy. Why his
and
sisters.
they mentioned
what
the
happened in the
secrets
house.
are and and everything.
And
that's
they
what I
mentioned
like in movies. Secrets.
Yeah.
And finding them out.
Tell me what you know. I want your secret.
And they had mentioned in the teaser that they weren't allowed out of the nursery when they were children,
Or the attic.
or was it the attic?
Both. She said both.
Yes.
Okay, and
It
I
was
was
the
like, wow,
nursery attic.
the nursery
The
attic.
nursery
No,
attic.
really, it was the nursery that
There was a
in the
chute,
attic.
and it went.
Yeah.
Okay, baby, back to the nursery. Boop.
Baby, it was the pneumatic system, just like at the bank.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm very much intrigued by this, and I'm going to say this: Guillermo del Toro has given up a lot of work recently to focus on this project.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been attached to a lot of things. Like he was attached to Beauty and the Beast, that we mentioned a few weeks ago. He was attached to the Hobbit series. He was attached to something else. I forget what it was. Something big, but he's given up a lot of work to focus on this movie. And Del Toro has said that he's a huge fan of the haunted house genre. Like, one of his favorite movies is The Shining, which excites me. Because if this is Del Toro's Shining, fucking yes.
I could see that with the tub.
Yes,
person.
Exactly.
Ooh, yeah,
And I'm like, if this is Del Toro's Shining, oh my God, I'm going to love it. Because he said that many times that one of his biggest inspirations is Kubrick. And you can get that kind of visual sense with some of his movies, with the sense of distance and the coloring that he has. Not a lot, but a little bit of Kubrick in there. And if he goes down that road, something like House on Haunted Hill or The Shining or The Haunting or something like that, I am very much looking forward to this because those are some of my favorite movies of all time in this genre. So I have nothing but high hopes for this right now.
Yeah.
I really, 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 really want to see it.
Really, 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 really.
Yeah, I really want to see this too. And again, I was really disappointed because this film actually shot in Kingston, Ontario in Canada. And I had just left Kingston when Tom Hiddleston went to Kingston. So
Del Toro was around there too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and they shot actually, I think, at City Hall. Like everything was set up like right in front of City Hall and everything.
Wow.
And it was pretty impressive apparently. And
cool. And let's stress.
No, not at all. Just saying, like, Hiddles, count yourself lucky that I wasn't there. I'm kidding. I don't stalk. Stalking, I do not condone stalking, as I've said earlier in this podcast.
And let's stress, you're not a fan of horror films.
No, I am not, because they scare me.
But you'll forgive this one because Hiddleston.
Well, it's not. He'll be my comforting presence.
Despite the fact that he's the sinister one.
Exactly. But from what I've seen so far, I wasn't particularly freaked out. Like, I know that there are some movies where they try to scare you, but this I felt was more of a thriller kind of. I mean, I don't know Del Toro's style in terms of horror films, but are there a lot of jump scares?
There aren't.
No.
Yeah,
No.
see, that's the thing. I can deal with that. I don't like jump scares. But like if I'm watching just a movie where you kind of have that feeling, I can do those a little bit better anyway. So with that being said, I think I will be able to watch this movie without going completely crazy.
Now, to bring this back to Mama, which we had just talked about, I'm afraid because Del Toro has a problem with this. Del Toro has a really good idea for setting up horror. Mama had a lot of really good ideas and a lot of good moments in the beginning, but then by the end, it just turned into pure fantasy. It turned into Pan's Labyrinth, and it wasn't scary anymore. It was almost like you said, "Oh, well, I'm just showing you creepy imagery in this world of fantasy." Well, I'm sorry, Del Toro, that's not scary. And I like the worlds that he's weaving and the visuals he's giving me, but it's like he can't seal the deal. And I hope that's not the case with this. He's done good horror in the past. The Orphanage is a good example of that.
Yeah.
But Mama was a poor example of that, where he took a great idea, did great things in the beginning and middle, and then just couldn't finish it. So I hope that's not the case with this, but we will see.
Yeah.
I am very much looking forward to it.
Me too. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'll probably see it. I'm like her. I'm not a big horror fan, but I like him, so I'll probably end up seeing it.
Fair enough. So, finishing up the night, we're going to get into our feature presentations. The first one being Focus. We discussed this about a month and a half ago, and
Right. Will Smith.
yeah. And in recent weeks, having seen the more recent teasers and TV spots, not looking forward to it. I mean, I do want to see it just because Margot Robbie is in it.
Who's Margot Robbie?
She's playing the lead actress in this. Or she's playing the lead actress. She is the lead actress in this. Playing the role of the romantic lead who's kind of screwing with Will Smith. Okay. I only want to see her because I found out she's going to be playing Harley Quinn in the upcoming Suicide Squad.
Really?
So I'm intrigued by her performance. Yeah. Huh. Now, she was also in The Wolf of Wall Street, which I didn't see, but apparently anyone who saw that says that, yeah, you can see her as Harley Quinn. But that's the only real reason I'm intrigued as to seeing this is because I want to see her work moving forward. You keep shaking your head. What's up?
Give us an answer.
I was just thinking about how many times you said the word intrigued. And the listeners are going to be doing a drinking game.
Yep. Intrigued. I don't even catch myself saying it anymore. I just do it all the time.
That's intriguing.
Yeah.
It's just like my one. I don't even remember what it is anymore.
It's because you don't hear it.
Yeah.
You're ear blind to it.
Yeah, I am.
Well, you can be nose blind. You can be ear blind. I made do what I want.
I didn't say anything.
Good.
I remember you had one. I forget what it was, though.
Me too.
Yeah.
Because Robin says it a lot, and then I found out that Robin's mom also said it a lot.
But as far as this, is anyone looking forward to this?
Nope.
Nah.
I mean, it didn't look awful, but I probably won't see it.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go out
of my way to see it.
I wouldn't want to pay money for this.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling the same. Don't get me wrong. I still love Will Smith. I still have a lot of fun with him. And it looks like this is one of those roles that he can have a lot of fun with it. But, yeah, I'm not in for heist films, for robbery films.
I love those films, but this just didn't do anything for me.
Yeah. And, yeah, I'm just kind of feeling like I'm sorry. I just can't. I'm not in for this. Maybe on Netflix, maybe later on, but no, not in theaters.
Yeah,
sorry, guys.
Same. I'd rather go back and watch, like, Independence Day or something.
Agreed. Moving on to our next feature presentation, which is Lazarus Effect. We just discussed this about a month ago. Again, this has only been, I think, maybe the first or second horror film this year. And usually around this time we get a decent amount of horror films to combat the rom-coms that are coming out. So
Are there actually that many rom-coms which have come out?
No, there
Yeah.
haven't. It's been a surprisingly slow year for that.
It's because everybody just wants to see superhero films.
Well, no. You know what you could say? That all of those rom-coms were absorbed by the fact that one movie was released this year on Valentine's Day. 50 Shades of Grey. And because that movie was released, no other film was like one to come out at that time. Around like, and I know to say, something that is romantic or, romantic comedy can't compete with that because it's not even in the same vein as 50 Shades of Grey. But because it was coming out at that time, no other films even close to that genre wanted to compete with it because they just felt it would get swarmed out by that. In a way, they're right because that movie's been number one for the last 2 weeks and nothing else has been competing with it. So to release,
which makes me so mad.
Oh, I know. Me too.
I don't think we should.
You didn't even want to mention the name of it in order to give it more fuel. I know. I completely agree. But yeah, I just feel like there is a threat, like not even a veil of fear to release any other types of movies like that around this time, just for fear that it wouldn't make any money when going up against this other one. Again, usually in contrast to that, we get a few horror films. I know in past years...
because apparently they deserved all the horror films, too.
Apparently. But this one's being released later this week, and not too much advertising for it as of late. I mean, I've seen a couple TV spots, but not a whole lot going for it. The more I look at it, the more I do want to see it. Again, just because I'm a fan of horror. It's fascinating. I definitely want to see this. I don't know if I'd pay full price for it. I mean, if it's a bargain Tuesday, I will see it. But I think that might be the only way I'll see it. Only because, again, I'm a fan of horror, and I hope they do something unique with this.
Fair enough.
I doubt I'll see it.
I'm not even slightly remotely interested.
Fair enough.
But again, it's because it's the genre. Yeah. Because of the genre. And again, when I saw the trailer, it wasn't even good horror, like, to me. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm just like, eh.
And that's a fair point. I mean, yeah, it looks like it's mostly jump scares and just, saying and like walking around just kind of like muttering creepy things,
right.
But...
And I could do that. I could just walk around muttering creepy things. And...
Okay.
It looks like it'd be better than Ouija, but not as good.
That's not saying a whole lot.
No.
A lot of things are better than Ouija in the horror genre. I mean, you could make a claim that Ouija was probably the worst horror film of last year, even though there wasn't a whole lot of it, but that's beside the point. But yeah, I do want to see this. So hopefully that'll be good. Moving on to the following week, we have something that we actually didn't talk about, which is Unfinished Business. Now, I've only seen the teasers and previews for this in the last couple weeks. Not a whole lot to discuss. It's Vince Vaughn and I forget the other two actors' names who are in it. The older gentleman, I've seen him in a lot. He was in Valkyrie, and I just forget their names. Karen, are you pulling it up?
Yeah. Vince Vaughn, Dave Franco. How could you not remember Dave Franco?
Sorry.
Tom Wilkinson.
There we go. Tom Wilkinson.
Is that the older guy?
Yes.
That you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those people.
Those people. And the plot
what
of
do you
it
mean
is
those people.
Yeah. And the plot of
What
it.
do you mean those people?
The people that I just listed. Gosh.
Oh, right.
So the plot of this is that it's three men going on some sort of business trip, and the shenanigans that occur on the trip. And apparently, the young kid doesn't know what really happened on business trips. And apparently, it's just these guys fucking around the whole time.
Yeah,
white
collar trash.
Right, white collar trash. Right, they're going out and starting riots or taking part in riots apparently, and getting like shit faced in bars and hitting on random women. It's very weird.
The plot summary on IMDb is basically a hardworking small business owner and his two associates travel to Europe to close the most important deal of their lives. But what began as a routine business trip goes off the rails in every imaginable way. in every imaginable and unimaginable way. Including unplanned stops at a massive sex fetish event and a global economic summit.
Wait, is that the same summit, or is that two separate
I don't know.
things?
At first, when I read it, I thought it was the same thing, but I think they might be separate.
Darn.
You never know.
Yeah.
I mean, it is Europe. You never know. It's another. It seems like it's another Vince Vaughn vehicle without really coming out and saying it's a Vince Vaughn vehicle. It just seems like it's him being there to make the same humor he does for a series of plot devices to move along the comedy for him. I don't know. This is something that I'm not intrigued by. Something I want to see. It's just,
Yeah, just no.
No, no thanks. I don't need to see men behaving badly.
Yeah, we see that every day.
Yep.
Hey!
Pretty much.
Nice. So moving on to our final feature presentation, which is something I do want to see, which is Chappie.
Yeah.
And
Chappie?
Yeah, this, you could say this is probably the first, I don't know if I call it a blockbuster, but like the first action sci-fi oriented film outside of Jupiter Ascending of the year. And of course, we've been discussing this one for a while. Yes, I'm very much looking forward to this. As we mentioned before, this is Neil Blomkamp, and I love his, a completely different sense of sci-fi. I mean, with District 9, we had a very practical sense of sci-fi. Despite its really low budget, it was some of the best visual effects I'd seen in a long time for sci-fi. And we're getting that with this. This looks like, robotics that would exist in the real world, in the near future.
Yeah.
I mean, it's far past the stuff that we see from Sony and from, like the little tiny robots that are moving extremely slow. But in the near future, when we get dynamic robots, they wouldn't have a human face. This is what you would see. It would just be a couple of pixels with, a little bar for a mouth, And some people are comparing it to, what's the one, Johnny Five or something like that.
Yeah,
a lot of people say,
Circuit.
it looks like Johnny Five or Wall-E that just happens to have legs.
Right.
I'm like, oh, come on now, guys. I think it's a little more unique than that.
Yeah.
But I'm spacing on the actor's name, but it was the lead actor from District 9, as well as he was in Elysium as well. He's providing the voice for Chappie.
Oh,
He has a very original name.
Yes, it's a very weird name.
It's Afrikaner or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, South African,
yeah.
right.
Sharlto Copley.
Yeah, Sharlto Copley, that's right. He's providing the voice of Chappie, and I really enjoy him. I think he's actually a pretty solid actor. And I know the A-Team didn't really get that good reviews, but I liked him in the A-Team.
He was in the A-Team?
Yeah, he played...
Brandon, I didn't see the A-Team.
Yeah, I think he played Murdoch. I could be wrong, but yeah, he was good in that. And as far as this goes, yes, we have also Hugh Jackman. We have Sigourney Weaver. And the two South African rappers, I'm spacing on their names, and they're playing themselves in this,
Yeah.
which is extremely odd.
Well, they're an odd pair, so.
Yeah. The recent previews, TV spots, and trailers have revealed a little bit more about this. Apparently, in this near future, there's this kind of weapons firm that's mostly headed up by Hugh Jackman that's already developed these robots. And they're basically using them as a police force throughout, I believe, South Africa. They're basically, instead of needing police, they just send out these robots that are almost fully artificial intelligence, but not completely. They're able to act on their own, enforce laws on their own, but they're still following the controls of the...
They can think and feel.
Exactly. To which this one computer developer, this, I believe an Indian kid...
Dev Patel?
Yeah. Turns around and says, you know what? I'm going to create the first artificial intelligence within one of these robots. And gives it the intelligence initially of what's practically a little kid. Says he's going to learn like a human. He's not going to start off extremely smart. He's going to learn things and pick up on things and learn from the environment around him just like a human would. So you see in the TV spots, he starts learning from a guy who's like a gangster. It's teaching him how to walk around like that, how to hold a gun. And he's learning about,
He-Man.
Yeah, He-Man. Yeah, He-Man. Yeah, holds up the sword. I love that. I was like, oh, God, he's going to be He-Man. I see him approach Hugh Jackman by the power of Grayskull.
Oh, jeez. Yikes.
Oh, God. I cannot wait for that scene. Yes. Very much looking forward to this. Screw the haters who hate Neil Blomkamp. I still like this guy, and I really am looking forward to this movie.
It looks good. I want to see it. But everything you just said is the exact plot of Short Circuit. Which, to me, isn't a huge problem. But it is really the plot of Short Circuit. It really is. I mean, a weapons firm having artificial intelligent robots, it learning like a child throughout the whole movie, thinking and feeling for itself.
Okay, but admittedly, Johnny Five was far more annoying.
Well, we don't know that yet.
Nah, okay, fair enough. I mean, yeah, Chappie could be pretty annoying. I don't know, but I don't know. It's been forever since I've seen the Short Circuit movies.
Yeah.
Because there was 2 or 3, right?
There's at least 2.
Yeah. I hated Johnny Five. God, that robot was so damn annoying. And I hated that people compared Wally to Johnny Five. And I'm like, shut up. Wally is so much better than Johnny Five.
It's a similar design.
Similar design, but much better. But anyway, couldn't be looking forward to this more. I really hope it's good.
Sounds interesting.
Liar. You're a goddamn liar.
So I want to thank the Goddess of Gore for coming by.
No problem.
I want to thank the Fangirl Extraordinaire for coming by.
Sorry, hold on.
Oh, my. Uh-oh. She's done.
Yay, glad to be back. And now I've claimed my nook. I will be back more often.
Your nook. And I also want to thank the Dystopian for coming by.
Anytime. Always a pleasure.
Okay, glad to have you. And I, once again, am the Projectionist. And one little bit before we sign off, I did want to mention that in the next few weeks, we're going to be rolling out a new segment for Threading and Dreading and for the Projectionist channel on YouTube.
Yay.
You all know that, of course, we have feature presentations at the end of our podcast, but feature presentations is now going to become a video segment. Uh-oh.
Don't look at me.
It burns us. But we're going to be trying to do our best to make this now a weekly segment. Because it's every other week, there are sometimes movies we either miss or just can't get to as much. But we figured we could make feature presentations a weekly segment for you guys, a little 4 or 5 minute segment for YouTube. So hopefully in the coming weeks you'll be seeing that, and we can bring you, a little bit better commentary on these feature presentations. Each week what we'll be seeing. So hopefully we can bring that to you guys in the next few weeks. And I want to thank you all for tuning in. Have a very good night, and take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Can't